Hey there, Liana. Do you know who I am? Go on and guess.
Who are you?
Didn't you read my last message? I'm not gonna tell you. You gotta guess.
I gave you one chance to tell me who you are, which is more than you deserved. I'm very busy and have much more important things to do than play Guess Who with some random nobody.
Get over yourself. Just guess.
Looks like this is either a stupid prank or you've got the wrong number, so I'm just gonna block your number now.
Wait, don't do that. I've got something to tell you that I know you're gonna want to hear. My name is Alyssa, and I'm your husband's girlfriend.
Huh? By my husband, do you mean Jacob?
Yeah, that's him. Ugh, old women are so boring. I wanted to keep you in the dark for longer just to have a little fun at your expense, but you went and made me spill the beans too early. Boring. Do women just instantly become humorless losers when they turn 30 or something? I hope I never turn 30.
Leaving the dark implications of that aside, would you mind telling me how old you are, Alyssa?
Who, me? I'm 20. I am a college girl in the pinnacle of my youth.
The pinnacle of your youth?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Right. It's just that I've never actually heard anyone in the pinnacle of their youth use the term, the pinnacle of my youth, before.
Yeah, and so what? You got a problem with that?
Problem? Nah, no problem at all. You're free to use whatever phrases you like to describe yourself. That phrase in particular, though, is typically used by women in their 60s looking back at pictures of themselves in their late teens. That and men in their 60s looking at women in their 20s.
Seriously, what's your problem? I'm not in my 60s. I'm a young, healthy woman, unlike you.
Maybe not, but I think I know exactly why you're using that phrase. Let me guess. Jacob talks about you that way.
Oh, I guess he does. You're right. Isn't he great? He always speaks to me in such poetic ways. It shows how head over heels in love with me he is.
Head over heels? There's another phrase I don't think anyone's used for the last 20 years at least. Why are you letting some geezer have such a strong influence on the way you talk? Your friends your age are gonna laugh at you.
No, they would never laugh at me. Now, would you stop nitpicking every single one of my messages? You are so obnoxious.
Sorry, my bad. You know how women over 20 are. We just can't help but beat on women younger and prettier than us.
Well, at least you're self-conscious about it. And by the way, do not call my Jacob some geezer. He's the love of my life.
Oh, how could I be so insensitive as to call my husband, who you claim to be dating, a geezer? My deepest apologies. So, what do you want? Why did you choose to out yourself as my husband's mistress like this? What's your angle, Alyssa?
You want to know what my angle is? I thought that should be obvious. All I want from you is to admit that you've lost, divorce Jacob, and let me have him.
Wait a minute. Are you going to sit there and tell me that you want to marry that pathetic old geezer?
What did I just tell you about calling him that? I mean, what the hell is even going on with you? What's up with your attitude? Calling your own husband a pathetic old geezer? I mean, you're supposed to be his wife. You are his wife, aren't you? For real?
Yep. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but the truth is that I've known that Jacob has been cheating on me for quite some time now. But to think a man his age was fooling around with some little girl who's not even old enough to drink yet? Yuck, it just makes me want to puke. Tell me, how was your trip to Hawaii? Did you make it all right? Have you settled into your hotel yet?
You knew about that? Well, that's weird. He told me you were completely in the dark. But, oh well, I guess the cat's out of the bag. Yep, we're in gorgeous Hawaii right now. But you want to know what the best part is? We paid for the whole trip with your credit card, you stupid old hag.
What?
That's right. We're going to have the trip of a lifetime using your money.
Wait a second. My credit card? You mean you took the credit card out of my wallet and took it with you to Hawaii?
Oh, don't look at me. I didn't do it. It was all Jacob's idea. He's the one who took it while you weren't paying attention. And he is generous enough to let me use it to do all the shopping I want. I might even pick out a wedding dress while I'm here. I have a huge list of things I want to buy, and you're going to pay for all of it.
Goodness gracious, it seems like you're completely unaware of how credit cards work.
Huh? What are you talking about? I'm 20 years old, not 2. Everyone my age knows how to use credit cards. You take your items to the register, swipe the card in the machine, and poof! Like magic, it's all yours. What else is there to understand? That's literally how credit cards work. Now, if you'll excuse me, Jacob and I just got done with a long plane flight, so we're going to go ahead and lay down in bed. Don't worry, though, we're not sleeping together. As a matter of fact, I think we're gonna stay up all night long.
Have fun, I guess. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Hello, Granny. Oh my God, we are having so much fun with your credit card. How does that make you feel, huh? Hey, are you there? Hello? Seriously, Liana, I know you're super duper jealous of me and your husband, but why won't you ever message me back? You're way too old to be acting like such a little brat, you know that? It's really lame. Oh well, I'll go ahead and write a list of all the things I've bought with your money so far. Here it goes.
Alyssa, was it? Look, I understand that you're very young and inexperienced in the world, but you graduated from high school, didn't you? You're going to college at least, so you can't be telling me you've never heard of time zones.
Huh?
It's the middle of the night over here. If you'd like to gloat over stealing my husband away from me, then could you please look up what the time difference is between here and Hawaii and message me at a more reasonable time?
Oh, shut up, Granny. I'll message you whenever I want to. So anyway, here's the list of all the stuff you've bought for me.
Do you really think you're hurting me at all when you call me old Granny or whatever? I may have just about a decade on you in years, but first of all, that's hardly enough of an age gap for you to be calling me old. And second, I am not now, nor will I ever be ashamed of the fact that I have more experience and knowledge than you.
That sounds exactly like what an old woman would say.
Right. Well, then moving on. I've been trying to contact Jacob for the last few days to ask him when he plans on coming back from Hawaii, but he's not responding to my messages. Looks like he hasn't even read them. I assume that means he's blocked my number, so I thought I'd go ahead and confirm it with you. Are you planning on being back within the week? Like Saturday evening or something?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, wait a minute. Is that really all you care about, when he's coming home?
And one more thing, I decided to stay over at my parents' house for the time being.
Okay, and?
I'll leave the divorce agreement I had my lawyer put together on the table. Have Jacob look it over, sign it, and then the two of you are free to do whatever you want.
Really? You mean I'm gonna get to live in your huge mansion?
Mansion?
Finally, I am so happy. You're finally getting out of our way. Me and Jacob can finally be together.
Oh, and one more thing. I'm suing the both of you for your affair, so be prepared for that.
Oh, really? Whatever, that's cool. Go ahead and sue us for however much you want. It won't make any difference to me. I'll just pay whatever the bill comes to with your credit card.
You're gonna try to pay me with my own credit card?
Duh, why wouldn't I? Anyway, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later, Granny. I need to get back to the bedroom. Jacob's waiting for me with a massive plate of room service that you're paying for. I think the fact that I don't have to pay for any of this food makes it taste even better. Bye-bye.
Oh boy. Well, have fun, I guess.
Hey, what gives? I just tried to use your credit card, but it didn't work. What did you do, Liana?
You're just now figuring that out?
I knew it. I knew you were behind this. Tell me what you did.
Yeah, about that. I called the credit card company and had it deactivated days ago.
You what?
I knew just as soon as Jacob left the house to head to the airport that he had taken my credit card with him. He apparently just has too big of an ego to realize that I was aware of every single thing he was doing. It was clear that he was intending to rack up a massive bill at my expense, so I made the call immediately to report it stolen and have it deactivated. I'm just surprised it took you this long to notice.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I was using it with no problems until a little bit ago. What's going on?
Remember a few days ago when I told you that you don't understand how credit cards work? Unauthorized use of someone else's credit card is illegal, even if the person using it is the owner's family member. That includes spouses, too.
Are you serious?
And the person who uses it is responsible for compensating the owner for every last cent that they spend. Again, it doesn't matter if they're married to the owner.
Oh, no. I had no idea.
Come on, girl, really? What did you think a credit card was? Did you think it was like a money tree or something? The money just magically appears out of thin air? Are you really going to college with a brain like that?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I didn't think about it that much.
By the way, does Jacob have my credit card right now?
Yeah, I think he does. He said that we'd be in trouble if we lost it or something, so he's been holding on to it.
I see. Well, it looks to me like he's been paying for everything you've bought over there with his own credit card, not mine.
What?
Let me explain this to you in the simplest terms possible. Jacob took my credit card along with him on the trip because he didn't think I would notice. However, I did notice, and I moved immediately to report it stolen and have it deactivated. This put him in an uncomfortable situation, though. You, his mistress, were overjoyed at the prospect of not only stealing my husband, but also stealing thousands upon thousands of dollars from me. There was no way he could tell you that his master plan failed and that you would no longer be able to live large on his wife's dollar.
So, you mean...
So he lied to you. He told you that all of that money was coming out of my pocket when he was actually just using his own card. He put on a front just to impress you and make you happy. And now that you're about halfway through your trip, you finally exceeded the credit limit on Jacob's own credit card. The credit card company shut it down on their end to keep you from going any further over your limit. That sounds about right to me.
Wait, are you telling me that Jacob has already spent all of his money on our trip to Hawaii? That he's penniless now?
Did you happen to bring any cash with you, Alyssa? You might need it.
No, I didn't bring any money at all. I figured that we were going to be able to use your credit card the whole time. I had no idea this would happen. And I have never had a credit card of my own. My parents have been paying for all my college expenses.
My, oh my, you are in a world of trouble, aren't you?
What am I going to do now?
Like I know, you two lovebirds are going to have to figure out a way out of this mess by yourselves.
What? You have to help us.
What is it that you want me to do about your situation, Alyssa? I'm not in Hawaii. It's not like I could just walk over to your hotel and hand you a stack of cash.
You can mail it to us or something.
Uh-oh, looks like my phone is running out of battery.
Hey!
Gotta go charge my phone. Enjoy the rest of your trip.
Wait, you can't just leave me like this. Liana, send me some money. I want a new pair of shoes. This cannot be happening. You call this a house? This isn't a house. It would barely even pass for a storage shed.
I'm glad to see you managed to get back home without issue. Tell me, whatever did you do for the last half of your trip without any money? I'm curious how you managed to get by.
Nothing. That's what we did. We didn't set foot outside the hotel room for the rest of the trip. The only reason we didn't starve is because Jacob booked us a meal plan along with the hotel. If that wasn't already paid for, we'd both be nothing but shriveled husks by now.
Oh, that's great. Just goes to show you every cloud has a silver lining.
This isn't a time for glass half full platitudes, Liana. I asked you a question. Now answer me. What the hell is up with your house? I thought you lived in a massive mansion next door.
Huh? Oh, that house. Yeah, that house isn't ours. That's our landlord's house.
Your landlord?
So that's where you were confused. I was wondering what you were talking about when you mentioned living in a huge mansion.
I don't understand.
Our house was actually a guest house that our landlord built on part of his property. He didn't use it very often, though, so he had it renovated slightly into a standalone house and put it up for rental. That's why there's still that fancy stone fence wrapping around it. He only cut out a little bit of it in order to build a driveway. A lot of people who come by make the same mistake you did and end up going to our landlord's house looking for us. The address is almost exactly the same. The house number is just 310 instead of 312.
Oh no. Oh, this can't be happening. So, Jacob's not a rich guy living in a huge mansion?
Nope. He's just a mid-level employee at a mid-sized business, earning an average salary and living in an average-sized house. There's not much about him that isn't average. For the record, I actually make a little bit more money than he does.
No way!
Yes, Way. Believe it or not, it's the truth. So I'm sorry to say, but you most likely won't be able to count on him paying your upcoming legal bills for you. You're gonna have to manage somehow on your own. Good luck!
What?
Oh, and one more thing. You don't need to waste your time telling your parents about your situation. I already contacted them for you.
What did you do that for?
I thought they might like to know what their daughter was doing with her time while she was supposed to be attending the college classes they were paying for. They felt so terrible about everything you've done to me, it was almost painful to watch them apologizing so profusely. They told me they weren't going to stand for this behavior from you and that they were going to pull their financial support. Oh, and not just for your college tuition. They said they wouldn't pay your legal bills either.
You mean I'm gonna have to drop out of college?
Well, that's a decision you'll have to make for yourself. Anyway, anything else you'd like to say to me, you can say to my lawyer.
Your lawyer?
I'm no good at explaining things to people with an IQ lower than room temperature. I think the details on what will happen to you next should come directly from a professional. Consider it an important part of your civic education. Not many people get first-hand experience with courts, lawyers, and lawsuits at your age.
I don't want that kind of experience. I want fun.
I bet you had plenty of fun in Hawaii, for the first part of your trip anyway. And with that, I have nothing more to say to you. Goodbye, Alyssa.
Hey, wait, you can't do this to me.
That evening, Jacob and Alyssa got into a massive argument about, well, just about everything. It got so bad that the neighbors ended up calling the police because they thought there was a domestic fight going on. This was too much for our landlord to deal with, so he immediately started eviction procedures. As for Alyssa, her parents came into town to pick her up and took her back to live with them on their farm outside of the city. Just as they had promised me, they cut off her funding, leaving her completely incapable of paying for her college education. She dropped out, and with no other job, they forced her to do the thing she hated most of all, manual labor. Perhaps somewhere between the sweat, dust, and manure, she'll learn a lesson or two, but I'm not very hopeful. A few months later, Jacob called me and begged me to take him back. Apparently, once his parents found out about precisely why he and I got divorced, they were so furious that they disowned him as their son and wrote him out of their will. Between their extravagant Hawaiian vacation and his alimony payments to me, all of Jacob's savings have vanished into thin air. And since all of his friends had abandoned him as well, there was no one else that he could turn to but me. Unfortunately for him, I was already seeing someone else, so I turned him down. Don't get me wrong, though, I wouldn't have taken him back even if I was single. As soon as I told him that, his end of the call went completely silent for a few seconds, followed by the sounds of him crying at the top of his lungs. I hung up the phone to let him sort out his emotional issues by himself. With him out of my life, I have found peace for the first time in as long as I can remember.
Hey, Molly. So what's going on with Steve's funeral?
Oh, hey, Dad. Perfect timing. I've been meaning to talk to you.
If you've got something planned, then hurry up and tell me when it's gonna be. Unlike some people I know, I have a life.
Yeah, I was just about to send you the details. The visitation is going to be this Friday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., and the funeral will start at 1 p.m. the next day.
Got it.
Hey, Dad? I'm only saying this because I remember what happened at Mom's funeral, but please, Dad, can you please not make any inappropriate comments about your business relationships at Steve's funeral? Like, about primary contractors and subcontractors and all?
What are you saying?
Well, your company doesn't have any direct connections with my husband's company, but you do share some of the same clients, right? Basically, there are probably going to be some people at the funeral from companies that you've met before and do business with. So before you come, I'd just like you to keep in mind that anything inappropriate that you say or do at Steve's funeral will probably have a much bigger impact than what you did at Mom's funeral.
I don't get it. What's your problem?
I mean, you have this thing about business relationships. Like primary contractors are the most important and subcontractors are just underlings or something.
Yeah, and? Your point? People need to know their place in this world.
Yes, that's certainly true about some things, but you're choosing a very specific and very, outdated issue to focus on, is what I'm saying. Remember, my husband's parents lost their son when he was just 25 years old, and the funeral is supposed to be a place where they can say their proper goodbyes and find some sense of peace. Please, Dad, I'm begging you, don't go saying anything untoward to them during the funeral, okay? Dad? I was very explicit when I talked to you before. Would you mind explaining why you screamed, "Know your place, peasant," at the representative of one of your client companies and kicked him out of the church?
Huh? Oh, you mean that little upstart from Arthurvale Manufacturing? That pathetic little factory outside of town? That place is a subcontractor of one of my subcontractors. We got a big deadline coming up. Who does he think he is showing up at a funeral when the only reason he even exists is to meet that deadline?
I don't believe this.
Oh yeah, and about your husband. Just because he went and kicked the bucket doesn't mean I'm gonna let you live off my money again. You got that?
What?
I don't want you to ruin our family's reputation by coming back to live with us because you can't make it on your own. If you need help, go and live with his peasant family.
Excuse me? What is going on with you, Dad? What do you mean, live off your money?
I'm just making sure you don't go and get your hopes up, that's all. I spoke in plain English, so I won't let you pretend that you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, Dad. I have literally zero clue what you're talking about.
Then how about this? I'm disowning you.
Huh?
Don't ever show your face around my house ever again, little girl. You're no daughter of mine.
Oh, so I don't have to go see you anymore?
Have to?
You're saying I don't need to come visit you on holidays like Christmas, Easter, birthdays, that sort of thing?
Well, yeah, you're not allowed to come visit me.
I really don't get what your angle is with this, but your terms are acceptable. Thanks for letting me know you're cutting ties with me, Dad. That saves me a lot of trouble.
Hold on.
Mom's sister took all of her things from your house after she died, and I don't have anything of value left over there, so anything that's still there can be thrown away. Really, you've just saved me the trouble of disposing of a lot of old junk. I was dreading having to do that by myself.
Molly?
Let me just say this, Dad. You've disowned me of your own volition. I'm not your daughter anymore. You're not my father anymore. So don't come crying to me for help when everything comes crashing down around you. Goodbye.
What the? Hey, Molly! What's going on? What's the meaning of this? You're remarried? When did this happen?
What do you mean? My husband is my first and only husband.
Wait, what? But that doesn't make sense. Steve's dead, right? Like dead, gone. But now I'm reading in this interview online that your husband is the next in line to be the CEO of Straver Industries?
Oh, yes, my husband is set to be the next CEO of Straver Industries. But what does that have to do with Steve? I really don't see what the relevance is here.
Huh? Your husband has only been dead for a week. You should be in mourning, but you're already remarried to some wealthy, powerful businessman?
What? My husband is as healthy as a horse, Dad. I don't think I've ever seen him catch a cold. I've been married to the CEO of Straver this whole time.
Are you drunk or something? I saw you at the funeral. You were clinging onto the casket, crying your eyes out.
Oh, that? That wasn't me, Dad. That was the woman who spent so much of his money that he divorced her, his ex-wife.
I'm very confused.
Well, it had only been about 3 months since they got divorced, so I thought she deserved to know about his passing and the date and location of the funeral. Looks like she never really was able to get over him. I felt pretty bad for her. She absolutely fell apart in front of everyone.
I'm still confused. This ex-wife, who is she?
You know who she is. She's our very own prodigal daughter. She suddenly up and left home one day, and we haven't heard from her in about 10 years before she randomly showed up a year ago. She's my twin sister, Mandy.
This is giving me a headache. Your sister?
As far as twins go, we definitely do look a lot alike, and given the circumstances, I'm not surprised you couldn't tell the difference between us. But seriously, not only could you not tell the difference between us, you forgot who we married? Like, for real, Dad?
Oh, yeah. In my defense, both of you brought your fiancés to the house at around the same time, so it's pretty understandable that I'd mix them up.
Oh no, don't tell me. Did you make the exact same mistake that she did?
What mistake?
You're clearly having a hard time with this, so I'll start from the beginning. I've been dating the same guy ever since we were both in high school, remember? And that guy is Steve's younger brother.
His younger brother? Oh! Your sister got married to the older brother, Steve, and you were dating the younger brother, Stuart!
Yep, that's right. Stuart has been in line to inherit the leadership of Straver from his father ever since he started going to college. So he was going through a sort of business apprenticeship with his father while going to school.
Wait, but Stuart is the younger son. Why would he be the one to inherit the business? What about Steve? He's the older son.
Well, their dad had a long talk with the both of them about what their goals were for the future, and in the end, Steve decided that he would rather forge his own path in life, so it was decided to pass the company on to Stuart. And by the way, Mandy swooped back into town like a vulture when she heard the news that I was engaged to the next CEO of Straver Industries. But it seems that, just like you, she also operated under the assumption that the firstborn son would be the one who got the company. Since she thought I was engaged to Steve, Mandy started in on a massive effort to steal him away from me and secure her business as the wife of a wealthy businessman.
I see.
She managed to win his heart, and they even got married in short order. But just when she thought that she had succeeded in pushing me to the side, she had the horrifying revelation that it was Stuart and not Steve who would be taking over the company. It came as a massive shock to her.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That wasn't the end, though. After they got divorced, Mandy realized that she had actually fallen in love with him, even if he wasn't the wealthy businessman she thought he was. She even threw herself at his feet and begged him to take her back. But, well, she was just too late.
Oh, I guess that explains why she was crying like that.
Well, that's the end of the story. Did you get all that? Don't worry about Mandy. Aunt Gracie said she's going to look after her for the time being. You can leave her to us.
Oh, okay. Well, thanks for that.
It's strange to hear from you so soon, though, Dad. Didn't you just disown me as your daughter a few days ago?
Oh, I guess I did. Hey!
What do you want now?
It's about my subcontractor, Arthravale Manufacturing.
Okay, what about them?
Their president is the younger brother of the chairman of the board of Straver Industries?
Yeah?
Yeah, well, why didn't you tell me about that?
Good grief, Dad, you really didn't know? Straver's chairman's brother founded Arthravale after retiring from Straver with the explicit purpose of training up new talent to support the industry's future. It was all in the papers. It's intentionally kept as a small-scale operation due to its purpose as a training company. So they typically only do small order subcontracting orders. It's their bread and butter. Seriously, I thought this was common knowledge for the local business community.
I had no idea.
Oh, for the love of... So you really didn't know then?
Oh no, what am I gonna do now?
Okay, I'll bite. What's the matter, Dad?
I've got to figure out some way to make it up to Arthravale's president.
I think I know what's going on, but go ahead and spell it out for me.
I've been getting call after call from clients the last few days saying they're cutting off our business relationships. I was completely floored when one of our biggest clients said that, and when I asked them why, they said that they had heard about my behavior at Steve's funeral the other day, and they didn't want to be associated with someone who made such inflammatory remarks anymore, so they're cutting ties.
Yeah, that's what I thought you'd say.
But it doesn't make any sense. What did I say that was inflammatory?
You still don't get it? Arthravale is a small-scale operation, but the technicians who train there go on to take on important roles at multiple manufacturers all over the region. There are even some alumni who have gone on to launch massively successful companies of their own. Wherever they end up, though, the common thread between everyone who works at Arthravale is that they are fiercely, passionately loyal to the company. Which brings us to the question of what was so inflammatory? At the funeral for a young man who died at 25 years old, you shouted at an Arthravale representative as if you were some kind of medieval noble lording over the local serfs. You ticked off a lot of people that day. And given how loyal Arthravale alumni are, it's only reasonable that the ones in position to do so would make moves against you and your company.
Oh no. I had no idea what sort of place Arthravale was. If I had known, I never would have said those things about them.
You shouldn't have said those things regardless of who you were saying them about. Have you no common sense?
Of course I do.
No, Dad. The way you're responding to this is basically proof positive that you do not. If you did, you wouldn't have put yourself in this position in the first place.
Come on, Molly. You've got to do something about this.
Huh? Why should I?
Isn't it obvious you're married to one of the most influential business families in the state? That makes me the father-in-law of the next CEO of Straver Industries. I'm in a way stronger position than the president of Arthravale. If I use my relationship with you as leverage, I can get that old geezer to do anything I want. You can save my company.
I hate to tell you, Dad, but I doubt that would work even if I tried.
Why, though?
Because it's not just my husband. The entire corporate philosophy of Straver is uniting with firms both big and small within the industry to form a mutual support network. In short, they hate businessmen like you.
No.
You really have no ground to be complaining to me in the first place.
Please, Molly, can't you do something? It doesn't have to be out in public. Can't you just kind of give him a subtle threat behind closed doors?
No, I'm not a jerk, but seriously, though, did you forget again that you disowned me?
That's not important right now.
It kind of is, but even if you were still my father, I would never do such a dirty, underhanded thing for you. Goodbye for real this time.
Molly, wait! Molly, you've got to lend me some money. Your husband's family has more money than most countries. You should be able to get me what I need with zero trouble. I've lost over 90% of my clients. I can't go on like this. It's gonna drive me into bankruptcy. You can't let that happen to me. I don't need that much, just a couple $1 million to hold my company over until we can secure some new clients. Molly!
The only reason I didn't block his number after he disowned me as his daughter was because my father-in-law, the current CEO of Straver Industries, personally requested that I did not do so. As I mentioned before, my father-in-law and my dad never had any direct business connections, but seeing as though both me and my sister married into the same family, they've met each other on a few occasions. He came to me and said that he wanted to see whether or not my dad was someone who was worthy of his help. As the father of his daughter-in-law, if my dad showed any sort of remorse for what he'd done, he would have been more than willing to help bring his company back from the brink of destruction. But alas, as you can see, my dad is incapable of remorse. We had a family conference, and after seeing my dad's last few texts, the decision was unanimous. Let him take care of himself. My dad's company went bankrupt a few weeks later. He was up to his eyeballs in debt, and with that personality of his, he didn't have any friends left who would be willing to save him. While rusty, he did still have some skills left from his days as a regular employee in a local factory. So he had no choice but to use those skills to start over from the bottom while desperately trying to pay back his debts.
Daphne, it's now been 1 whole year since we last chatted.
Huh? Raya? You didn't even come to Dad's memorial. What is wrong with you?
At the time, I had a date planned with my boyfriend who I'm now living with. I had no other choice but to skip that memorial.
Are you kidding me? You really need to get your priorities straight, woman. The only thing you ever showed up to regarding Dad and the family was the talks about his will. Then besides that, you never came to anything else, not even his funeral.
Because when Dad's funeral came up, I was on vacation with my boyfriend.
Like I said, get your priorities straight.
Jeez, shut up about all the stuff that happened in the past, please.
I don't care that it's in the past. You need to be scolded for what you did.
Well, if that's the case, then I think you need a little bit of butt chewing as well there.
What are you talking about?
Daphne, you moved into a condo, right?
What? I've always been living in this condo.
And Mom is living there with you now, right?
Well, yeah. After we finished up with all the things regarding Dad, Mom went and stopped paying for that house and came to live with me here. Why the hell do you want to talk about all of that, though?
I'm coming there at the end of this week, so I'll talk to you then.
Wait, you're coming here?
Yes, get me a room ready, please.
Huh? Raya, there isn't a room here for you, though, okay?
See ya! Daphne, bring me a coffee and some of that cake.
Excuse me? You only just got here and you're already spreading your legs out like this place has always been yours.
Who cares? I'm here to relax and catch a break for once. It's not like you ever have anything going on, right?
I am working.
Really? All I've seen is you locked up inside your bedroom all day, though. I'm sure you're just in there playing video games all day or something, right? Now hurry up and get me a coffee and some cake.
There isn't any cake or coffee here.
What? Are you sure? Then go buy some for me right now, please.
Go and buy those things your frickin' self.
Then give me some money so that I can do that.
If you want coffee and cake so bad, buy them with your own money. Braden, have you finished work yet?
Hey, Daphne. I just got back home from work and I'm gonna relax now.
I hope you had a good day at work then today.
Thanks. By the way, I forgot to ask, how has everything over there been going? Did you finish up all those preparations you had? I know that you had another project pop up that you needed to start working on, so if you need me to come over, I can help you out some.
Ever since the last time we talked, some things have come up, and I want to ask you about them. This is a bit of an emergency, actually.
What's happened?
I don't want to talk over the phone at the risk of others hearing me, so can I just explain things through text to you?
Go right ahead. What ended up happening to you?
Actually, 10 days ago, my younger sister came hurtling into my place and has been staying here ever since.
What? Your younger sister? Wasn't she the one that got kicked out of your house 2 years ago by your dad after getting into a fight with him? And then a year later, she didn't even show up to your dad's funeral or memorial, only coming to those talks about your dad's will?
Yeah, that's the one. When she didn't even come to my dad's memorial, I was seriously wondering what had happened to her. But then 10 days ago, she just came crashing into my place and hasn't left since.
Really? And has your mom said anything about that? I mean, she's still living with you, right?
Of course, she's still in love with my sister for some reason. I wasn't even going to open the door for my sister to come in, but then while I was on the phone with work, my mom answered the door and let that monster walk inside.
Then since that day, she's been sitting around in your house the whole time?
That's right. She told me about how she's been living together with her boyfriend for a while, so I assumed that after a few days she'd be going back home to him. But I'm starting to think that the whole reason she's come here now is because she had a fight with said boyfriend and he kicked her out of his place.
And she had nowhere else to go after that besides your place.
My mom was originally living in the house she had with my dad, but after he passed, she had to leave it because she didn't work and didn't want to waste any more money on the place. I'm sure she would have gone to that house had my mom still been living there, but now here she is in my place, taking up the room I had finally just cleared out. And to make matters worse, every day I see more and more of her things arriving here, so I think my sister's going to be staying for good.
I see. I kind of thought that your mom would have done something about that, considering she knows what you're planning on doing. Yet she just didn't?
The only thing she ever says to me is that she's happy to have her younger daughter living back at home with her, so she wants things to stay this way. I get that to my mom, having people around the house to help her is the best thing for her, and so having the both of us here makes her feel good.
But to you and I, that was a big mistake on her part.
I'm sorry that a problem like this had to start when we came so far.
Why are you apologizing to me? You haven't done a single thing wrong, Daphne.
Well, thank you for saying that, but...
Then let's do this. Remember that plan we made up before?
Are you talking about...
I can say that I'm ready anytime that I want to. But of course, you do have your job still, which may or may not get in the way of everything we'd planned.
I'm sure I can figure something out there. No, I will figure something out there, as a matter of fact. Honestly, I figured that my job has become pretty smooth now, so that might be why I allowed things like my sister to come and sit in my condo now. Which means I am very much used to my job now and can make things work around it. So we have to act now. We have to.
Understood. I can start helping you out with some of the things you have in mind, and I can get a car over there to start help with moving things. When you're ready for me, please, give me the signal.
I can do that, and thank you.
Daphne, I need tea and some cookies.
There are some cookies in the kitchen and tea in the cupboard, so go and get it all yourself.
What?
I'm seriously busy with my work right now, which means I have zero time right now to be your servant or anything.
What the heck? Trying to act like you're actually working at a company job right now is so uncool of you.
Shut the hell up already. I'm working and don't need to have my phone going off all day.
What?
Good morning, Daphne. Has everything been going as planned over there?
Yeah, I think that I'm getting everything done that I need to.
By the way, you were saying before that today is the day you'd be going out to meet with one of the leaders? I was wondering if you'd have around 5 to 10 minutes to meet up with me and talk.
Good point. We need to have a talk about our progress. I want to have a talk about our progress. Oh, that's right. I have something I need taken away, so I was wondering if I could get you to come and get it for me. Could you do that?
I can make it happen. Does that mean you'd like me to bring the car along?
It's nothing that big where you'd need a car. I already have it all packed away in my tote bag, so I can just bring it with me and then hand it over to you when we meet.
Sounds good.
All right. When I'm done talking with this guy, I'll give you a call and tell you where you can meet me.
I'll be waiting.
Daphne! Hey, that blue sweater that you had in your dresser is no longer in there. I was thinking of taking it from you.
I knew it.
What?
I knew that you'd been looking at me like you wanted to wear my clothing whenever you saw me around the house.
Huh? I have not been looking at you that way.
Well, those clothes are all things that my boyfriend has gotten me for my birthday, which means you're not getting any of them from me, and I will sure as hell not let you borrow them either, so I made sure to hide them.
What? Daphne, you had a boyfriend?
I still have a boyfriend.
Well, if that's the case, I'm not going to let you back into your place.
What?
Daphne, why don't you just head over to your boyfriend's place from now on and stay there? Yes, that's what you're going to do. From now on, I'm going to be living with Mom in this condo. So you don't have to worry about us two anymore.
Wow. So you're going to really be able to take care of Mom all by yourself?
Sure. I'll make sure she's all right here. And Mom's been thinking for a bit now that I'm a lot better than you.
Is that so? Well, if that's what she thinks, then you can have her.
I will. And you know why this is all happening? Because you were always so frickin' mean to Mom and I.
I'm the mean one, huh?
Neither of us like the fact that you've been sucking Mom dry of all the money she got from Dad like a little parasite when you still don't have a job, so we want you gone for good.
Dad's money? And you think I still don't have a job? So now you're calling me a parasite.
This condo, Mom bought it using the money she inherited from Dad after he died, right? And in that condo she bought, a jobless loser like yourself came crashing in and have been living there since, sucking Mom dry of all the money that Dad had left with her.
That condo is mine, actually, and I have been working for a long time now.
Really? You think I'm going to buy that now? No way that's the truth, when all you do is hide in that room of yours all day, playing video games and smelling the place up.
I'm sure with you being younger than me, you've heard of the term remote worker, right?
Then if you've been working this whole time, I want you to start giving me $2,000 a month. I'll use you like the ATM you were meant to be.
Like the ATM I was meant to be?
If you're able to do that for me, then I might just be willing to let you come back to this condo every so often to see Mom and I here.
It's funny that you have the nerve to run your mouth like that when you have no idea what's even been going on.
In other words, you can't send me $2,000 a month, can you? So, since that's the case, I want you coming here right now to grab all of your things and take them out of here with you.
Understood. I'll be out of that place in 3 hours then.
And don't you ever come back here again. Hold on a second, Daphne. A bunch of movers just came into the condo and have started to take all sorts of things out of here without even telling Mom or I what's going on.
I told you I'd be out of there in 3 hours, right? I had to call them and see how quickly they could get to the condo, which took me close to an hour to set up. So with their help, I should have all my things out of that condo and will stay out of there for the rest of my life. I told them to get it done within 2 hours, so that'll mean 3 hours has gone by in total, right? Please tell Mom that you both need to do your best not to get in the way of those movers so they can get their job done.
Are you listening to me, Daphne? Those buttholes just took the fridge and the washing machine with them. Why the hell are they taking away all of the appliances here as well? No, they're taking the TV in the living room now, too. Wait, the oven and the microwave as well? Why did the two of them just walk out of here with the dryer? No, wait! Some of them are taking away the sofa and coffee table, too. They are taking literally everything out of this place now, and it's becoming completely empty. Why? Why are they doing this? Why, Daphne? All of those movers have left the place now, and there is barely anything left in this condo. I just looked through all the cupboards and drawers in the kitchen, and things like the pots and pans are all gone. The toaster, the blender, they even took the fan that was in the living room and the lamps. There is literally nothing left in this place now. What the hell is going on here, Daphne?
Remember that condo is under my name and that I was the one who had bought it.
Huh?
And as for all the furniture in that condo, as well as the appliances and cooking utensils and pretty much everything else, they were all bought with my money. So I'm taking them all with me now.
Then how the hell are Mom and I supposed to live here? We can't.
But I recall you telling me to get all of my things out of that place as well as myself today. Did you not really mean all of that, Raya? I needed to find myself a place to move into as well today. So, since I've got a new place now and am moving there, I wasn't going to just leave all my things there, right?
Wait! All of that crap you keep saying right now is completely wrong. It's all contradicting everything.
Tell me what all is wrong and what all is contradicting what to you.
First off, there is no frickin' way that an unemployed loser like yourself would have been able to pay for a condo as gorgeous as this one.
And like I've said hundreds of times now, I'm not unemployed.
Then tell me, what kind of job are you working right now? You said before that you work remotely, which means you can't possibly be making enough to afford this place, right?
I'm a cartoon creator.
Huh?
There's nothing else I'd like to tell you about my job because that kind of detail is not worth my time, so don't ask me anything else. Just know that with the job I have, I am very much able to afford a place like that one.
You're lying.
I don't ask that you believe any of this. It's not like you or I are ever going to see or hear from one another again, right?
What?
I'm not kidding around anymore. Finally, it's about time this happened. When Dad passed away, it was found that he didn't die with any kind of debt, but he only had around $8,000 left in his savings.
He only had $8,000 left?
The will said that he wanted $8,000 split between Mom, you, and myself. But I wasn't really in any need of money, and so I told the lawyer to leave me out of it and let you and Mom deal with his money.
Then that $4,000 that came into my account a year ago, that wasn't because you ended up taking most of the money Dad had left behind with you and Mom.
I asked that you and Mom each get half of what Dad had left, and that $4,000 was half.
Are you serious? But you've always been so mean.
Oh, God damn it. You are such a pain in the ass to deal with that I've already had enough.
What?
Mom is the one that has that will with Dad from her, so go and ask her to show it to you so that you can see what I'm talking about instead of always acting like I've taken all the money. I'm done explaining this to you because you never ever listen.
Wait, Daphne?
I'm going to get married to my boyfriend who works in the transportation industry, which means I'm going to have to move all the way out to where he's living because he has a good job but has to work from there. Therefore, I'm having that condo sold and it will be gone by the end of this month.
What?
You both find yourself a new place to live and get the hell out of there.
Wait, what about Mom?
You told me that you'd be taking care of her from now on, right?
I only said that because I thought she had a lot more money from Dad.
Is that right? So this whole time you'd been making it sound like I was the one after all of Dad's money when it's really been you who's wanted it and couldn't share.
No, wait.
For what? For you to tell me your excuse? No thanks. Now go and tell Mom the news and let her know that you'll be finding you both a new place to move to soon.
Wait, I didn't mean that.
Screw off.
What?
I'm out of here. After that, I started to get a lot of calls from my mom wanting to talk with me about what had happened. She then sent me a text explaining everything she thought I knew she meant. Apparently to her, she thought that by having her cute younger daughter and I living there, she could enjoy the presence of Raya while having me pay for everything so they didn't have to. So that's the kind of dream my mom was having? Well, I hope she understands that I'm not anyone's ATM, and that if she wants to be taken care of so badly while also having her cute little Raya around, then she can just ask Raya to pay for everything and stay by her side. Not too long after I left, the man that kicked my little sister out of his house asking for a breakup wanted her back. Although, instead of coming out to talk about it directly to her, he began to stalk her and my mom at that condo. Originally, the reason all of their fighting had started in the first place was because Raya was spending so much of his money on the most needless things. But it seems that he completely forgot that that was the whole reason he kicked her out in the first place. Him coming back into Raya's life as her stalker dragged both her and our mom into some chaos. After having a week of those two always having to fight the stalker off, they called the police and had the man taken away. But this then led to the owner of said condo building kicking them out and finishing the sale on that place. With nowhere else to go, those two were taken into my mom's brother's home, where he told them they had to start working if they wanted to continue living with him. Now they're both working alongside him on his ranch, herding cows around and helping to milk some of them in the mud. And because of that, things have finally calmed down and I can start to think again in peace. I've moved in with my boyfriend now, and in a couple of months, we'll be getting married and planning out our wedding together. I've made sure to block both my mom and sister to avoid them ever finding out about this. Although it really wouldn't matter if they did, because they're living very far away from us and have no mode of transportation to get them off that ranch. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Hey, so, you're Melody, right? The woman who moved in recently. Do I have the right number?
Excuse me? Yes, that's me, but who are you?
Are you kidding me? It's Agnes. Didn't you read the list of contact information for the other parents that was posted on the parents' chat group? You've got no excuse not to have my name and phone number saved in your contacts list yet.
Agnes, oh, right. If I recall correctly, you were the woman wearing nothing but expensive brand clothing and carrying 2 designer purses for whatever reason?
Yeah, duh. Who else but me has that kind of fashion sense in this podunk little town? Glad you finally remembered.
Oh, so it was you then. Yeah, I don't suppose I'll ever be able to forget you, especially after you randomly started throwing punches at me.
Randomly? Don't pretend like you didn't deserve every single punch I threw your way, you little brat. It was exactly what you deserved for having the nerve to talk back to me.
You were smoking right in the middle of the park with dozens of kids around and a clearly posted no smoking sign. You were literally standing right next to it.
Rules are for commoners, not for me. I can smoke wherever I want. Anyway, don't ever forget who I am again, got it?
Trust me, Agnes, the first impression you left on me is one that will last a lifetime.
Right, I have a total superstar aura. That's exactly what makes me the boss around here.
The boss? What do you mean?
Oh, you are so lucky you're new here, or else I would have given you another couple punches for being so stupid as to ask me that question. So here's the deal. I'm the boss. That's it. Simple, right? I'm the boss, and all the other moms at the school do what I say, when I say. And if you don't like it, well, you might just have a little run-in with my associates.
Okay, I'll bite. Who are your associates?
Let me put it to you this way. You don't want to know who my associates are.
I see you're fully committed to beating around the bush as much as possible.
Tell you what, do you really want to know? Don't say I didn't warn you, but if you ask any of the other moms at the school, they'll let you in on the nitty-gritty. Then you'll know just how powerful I am. And that's all the hints you'll be getting, so don't bother asking for more. Now, be a good little girl, do your homework, and never, ever talk back to me again if you know what's good for you. Capiche?
Hey there, Kendra. Hope you're doing well today. Are you busy right now? There's something I wanted to talk to you about.
Hi, Melody.
Sure, I'm free right now. What's up? I really hate to drag you into this, but I just moved back into town after being away for a long time, and today was my son's first day in his new daycare. I was invited to the group chat for all the parents at the school, and then all of a sudden I was given a rather forceful introduction to a woman who calls herself the boss mom. Oh, you cannot be serious. She is still going around calling herself that, huh? Oh, by the way, what daycare are you sending your son to? The same one I went to when I was a kid. Wow, really? Well, that's pretty cool. It must bring back a lot of memories for you. Yeah, it's a weird feeling. I was a bit surprised they had any openings, to be honest. I must have just moved back at a really lucky time. For real, lucky you. Anyway, about the woman you were talking about, there's only one woman I know who would introduce herself as Boss Mom. You know her? Yeah, kinda. The queen of branded clothing, the empress of carrying around 2 designer purses just to show off. Her Royal Majesty, Boss Mom Agnes. Right. Okay, so it's not just me who thinks it's super weird to carry 2 massive purses. Well, that's great to know. Agnes moved into town with her whole family a little bit after you got married and moved away. They're in different grades, but her oldest child is attending the same school as mine. And yeah, she is every bit the boss mom over there, too. I've never in my entire life seen someone who refers to themselves as boss mom. It's so cringe. I know. The secondhand embarrassment is really bad. Oh, and by the way, for whatever reason, she's been working really hard to get me to become friends with her. Believe me, though, I have absolutely 0 intentions of becoming best buddies with her. Yuck. Man, the more I hear about this woman, the less I want to do with her. But her whole boss mom thing, that's not, like, a real thing, is it? I mean, she only sees herself as that, right? None of the other moms actually let her boss them around or anything. Yep, that's exactly right. So, is there a reason you're asking me about her? Like, did something happen? Is she giving you crap about something? It's a bit more than that, actually. She punched me. What? She was literally standing directly next to a no smoking sign. My first thought was that she was doing one of those prank YouTube videos or something, but no, she was for real. I asked her to stop smoking, and she immediately started swinging. She only managed to land one on my cheek, which is a little swollen, but not too bad. I was just about to walk away, but some other woman who was standing there started freaking out and called an ambulance for me. It turned out that I did cut the inside of my mouth a little bit, so I went to the doctor later that afternoon and got him to write up an official doctor's report for my injury. Wait a minute, you're telling me she punched you right in the face, and you didn't punch back? Not even once? Yeah, well, when you're someone like me, you have to be really careful about who you choose to defend yourself against. It can get ugly really quick. Oh, yeah, good point. I could tell from the way she was swinging that she'd never had any actual training or done much of any real fighting at all. She just caught me off guard is all. Sure, I didn't feel great to let her get the last laugh, but I figured that just taking the L and walking away would be a better option than fighting back and getting the police involved. Man, you have nerves of steel, Melody. I could never let her get away with that. Well, the more important reason for not fighting back was that both of our kids were there at the park with us that day. I didn't want them or the other kids to have to deal with the trauma of watching 2 fully grown adults fighting each other in broad daylight. Yeah, I guess you're right. But anyway, getting back to the main point of the conversation, would you mind telling me a bit more about this Agnes woman? I have a few more questions I'd like to ask you. All right, well then would you like to come over and have a cup of tea with me? Oh, I have a better idea. My cousin owns an adorable little cafe down on Main Street. Do you want to go there? I know you'll love it. I've always wanted to get the opportunity to take you there one day. Oh, really? Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm in. When and where should we meet up? I'll go ahead and swing by your house and pick you up. Would me getting there in about a half hour work for you? Yep, I'll be waiting. Melody, what the hell do you think you're doing? I know you're trying to get Kendra to be your friend, but it's not gonna work, so don't bother. What would be the point in being your friend anyway? You're nobody, and I'm the boss mom. Kendra is really something else, though. Listen to this. A while back, there was a woman at the daycare who was giving Kendra all sorts of trouble, and you know who stepped in to get her to lay off? The Petrelli family. Oh, that's right. You probably don't know about the Petrelli family. The Petrelli family is a very influential family around these parts. They own a bunch of different companies, but those are all fronts for their real operations. Trust me, you do not want to get on their bad side.
Bad things happen to those who get on their bad side. But get on their good side? The world is your oyster, baby girl. And Kendra just so happens to be friends with the daughter of the patriarch of the Petrelli family. I have no idea how someone who just rolled into town a few weeks ago like you has already met someone as influential as Kendra. But you'd better not be getting any big ideas about her, got it? She'll never be your friend, ever. And even if you somehow did manage to get on her good side, it's not going to mean anything about the relationship between you and me. I'm still boss mom, capiche? Oh, would you please stop going on and on about this? I am so bored. Look, Kendra happens to be an old friend of mine. We've known each other since we were little kids. Huh? As if I was ever going to believe that. How could you possibly have known her since you were kids? You just moved into town a few weeks ago. Yeah, I've been living in another city for a while, but I was born here. This is my hometown. The house I grew up in is just a little ways down the road from my new house. You can keep telling that BS story as long as you want, but I ain't buying, sister. And I ain't selling, sister. After I got married, I moved in with him in his house because that was where he needed to be for work. But he just got transferred to a nearby branch office this spring. So I figured it would be a good opportunity to come back and see all the people I've been missing for several years. Oh my God, you are really committed to this bit, aren't you? I told you, I don't believe it for 1 second. You're free to believe what I'm telling you or not. I don't really care. Actually, you know what? Keep on doubting me. That's going to make what happens next way funnier. What are you even talking about? You're such a weirdo loser, Melody. Looks like you've left me with no choice. I didn't want to have to play this card so early on, but I think you still don't know who it is you're up against with me, so let me give you one final warning. If you report what happened yesterday to the police, you're going to be sleeping with the fishes by sundown. Sleeping with the fishes? Interesting. That's the sort of thing that people in mobster movies say. Are you trying to tell me you have connections to the local underworld? Oh, I guess you're not as dumb as I thought. You've got that right, girlie. I'm a bona fide member of the local mafia. Oh, you are you? So, by sleep with the fishes, do you mean get passed out drunk at a sushi restaurant or something? Huh? What are you talking about? I'm sorry, it's just that you're claiming to be a mafia member to try and get me to not report a minor incident of assault and battery, and it's just so pathetically lame. Hey, you can't talk to me like that. I am dead serious. I am a member of the mafia. And not just any old member, my husband's the underboss. I guess I need to show you how serious I am. I think I might just have to go and have a talk with the Godfather myself. He'll send one of our enforcers by to teach you some manners. Maybe a couple weeks in the hospital might be enough to show you once and for all that this is my town. I'm the boss mom, and you will do what I say when I say. I warned you that this would happen, Melody, but you just didn't listen. Okay, I've officially run out of patience. So let me get this straight. You're going to go talk to the Godfather and have him send one of his enforcers to assault me. Is that it? How about I save you both the trouble? Let's go and see him together right now. You and me. Wait, but... Did you hear me? I just told you I want to see the Godfather. Well, take me to see him. Actually, I was just in the middle of a thing, and I need to head over to a place in just a few minutes, so now's not a good time. Okay, then I'll go see him myself. Where's he live? Well, he lives over by the Central Park. His house is the biggest one in the whole town. I see. Well, I know where that is, so thanks for letting me know. Hey, wait! You're not really gonna go there, are you? Kendra, this is bad. I am in big trouble, really big trouble. I need your help, Kendra. You've got to do something. What do you want from me, Agnes? We're nowhere near good enough friends for you to be calling me in a pinch like this. I would rather do literally anything else than help you out of whatever trouble you've gotten yourself into, so could you please ask someone else, anyone else? But you don't understand. There's a new woman in town who's pretending to be an old friend of yours, and she's just about to go storm into the Petrelli family mansion downtown. Huh? There's someone pretending to be a friend of mine? I saw the two of you together today. You were sitting together at that tacky cafe on Main Street. I figured she invited you there in a failed attempt to impress you. You're saying you saw a woman together with me at a cafe, and you still didn't believe her when she said we were friends?
All right, then. You're talking about Melody, right?
Yes, that's her.
And you're saying that Melody's about to go to the Petrelli family mansion?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, then what on earth are you acting so upset about?
Do I need to tell you?
Seriously, Agnes, what's your problem? Is this really something to be getting so worked up about?
But, let me start over. I don't think you understand. Melanie is about to storm into the house of the biggest mafia family in the entire state. She's gonna get herself killed.
Oh, I think I see what's going on here. You tried to pull your "my husband's the underboss of the local mafia" routine on her, didn't you?
Well, maybe.
So that's a yes. My guess is she called you on your bluff and asked for the Godfather's address. And you told her about the Petrelli mansion near Central Park. Do I have all of that right?
How did you know about all of that?
She told me about it herself. She's sitting right next to me.
What? She is? But why? Why would you waste your time on that pathetic little nobody? She just came into town a few weeks ago. She doesn't deserve your company. You should be hanging out with me. I'm the boss mom.
You make a strong case, but I'll stick with Melody, thanks. After all, Melody and I have known each other since we were both little kids.
You mean she was telling the truth?
If you were paying attention, you could have figured that out quite some time ago by yourself.
I don't believe it. She actually was friends with you?
And one more thing. I know that you're only trying to become my friend because you heard the rumors that the Petrelli family worked their magic in order to get one of the other moms at my kid's daycare to stop being such a nuisance. It's all just part of your scheme to add some weight to your self-described position of boss mom, am I right?
Well, you see, it's just that, well, we boss moms have to stick together, don't we? You're the boss mom at your school, and I'm the boss mom at mine, so I figured we could do some boss mom networking.
First off, I am not a boss mom. Second, all you've been doing is threatening people into doing what you want by saying that your husband is some big shot in the mafia. Have you really not noticed that nobody believes that story? Not one single person?
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. No one thinks you're actually the boss mom, whatever that bogus title means.
Well, be that as it may, until someone else comes to challenge my position, I am still the only official boss mom at my child's daycare. And Melody has been nothing but disrespectful to me since the first day she moved in. So I suppose I'll leave her to her own devices. If she wants to storm into the house of the biggest mobster in the state, then she can go ahead and get herself killed. See if I care. If she's lucky, maybe they'll let her off with just breaking her legs. Maybe some time in a wheelchair will teach her not to cross me.
Would you like to know what Melody's maiden name is? It's Petrelli.
What? Petrelli? Do you mean that Petrelli?
Melody is the one who used her connections in the Petrelli family to get that awful woman to stop keying my car and pay me the damages she owed me for all the repairs I had to do.
No, I don't believe this. Are you saying?
Yes, that's precisely what I'm saying. Melody is the daughter of the godfather of the Petrelli family.
That's impossible!
It's true, though. So you might have been trying to trick her into getting hurt by telling her to go to the Petrelli family mansion, but for her, that's just a normal trip home to see her parents and friends.
Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, what have I done?
Looks like you're finally realizing just how big of a mistake you've made.
This is the end of the line for me. I'm done for. What's going on, Melody? There is a black panel van outside of my house and a bunch of huge guys in suits just stepped out. They're walking this way. It's the Petrelli family, isn't it? What have I done to deserve this?
While Kendra was busy keeping Agnes busy with all those text messages, I was making a phone call of my own. Not to my father or anything, it was to Agnes's husband. Fortunately, his name was also on the emergency contact list for the school, so I dialed him up and gave him a quick rundown of the situation. He ran straight down to the Petrelli family mansion to see my father, kissed his ring, and apologized profusely for his wife's behavior. A few days later, he served her with divorce papers. From what I heard, her husband was given full custody of all of their children. While that was going down, Agnes's parents came in from out of state to talk to my father, and he made them an offer they couldn't refuse. Not because he was threatening them, but because it was just way too good of an offer to pass up. And that offer was directly connected to the text Agnes sent me about the black panel van pulling up to her house. I think that's going to be the last text she sends to me or anyone else for a very long time. With the double shot of child support payments to her husband and punitive damages for punching me, she'll be working at one of the many fine Petrelli family businesses until she's in her 70s to pay all of that off. I hope she'll learn her lesson between now and then, but I'm doubtful.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Harriet, what's going on? I heard that you and my son won't be coming to our house for Christmas this year. Is that true?
Oh, good evening, Dad. Well, yes, it's true. Curtis and I talked about it for a while, and we decided that we would spend Christmas at home this year instead of going over to your place.
I don't believe this. Why would you go and do a thing like that?
Well, haven't you seen the weather reports? We're supposed to get a once-in-a-decade blizzard on Christmas Eve. A lot of the stores around here are already announcing that they're not going to be open for either the 24th or the 25th out of fear for their employees' safety. It's pretty serious. We just feel like we'd rather not take the risk and go visit you guys on another day instead.
I cannot believe what I'm hearing. You think you're worthy of marrying into our family with an attitude like that? I should have known this is what you would be like when you refused to build a duplex with us before you and Curtis got married. Not only that, you had the nerve to continue working after your wedding when you should have quit in order to take care of my son's home for him and give me grandchildren. I am so disappointed in you as a daughter-in-law, Harriet. I don't know what that fool son of mine saw in you. Now you're telling me that you're not going to come to my house on Christmas because of a little bit of snow? It's not like you've never seen the stuff before.
Dad? Have you really not noticed how much it bothers Curtis when you say things like that to me? I'm sure he's talked to you about it before and told you to back off.
Excuse me?
And for the record, it wasn't me who first came up with the idea to spend Christmas at home this year. It was Curtis.
That's not true.
Also, Curtis was the one who first came out against your proposal of building a duplex together, not me. And once again, it was Curtis who encouraged me to keep working at my same job after getting married. He's been very supportive of me and my career aspirations.
What a load of nonsense!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm actually out of town on business at the moment, so I'll be taking my leave.
What? Your company sends the women on business trips? Don't they know you have more important things to be doing at home?
Well, Curtis and I both share housework duties, and I'm the person in charge of this region, so...
This conversation isn't over. We still have a lot of things to discuss, Harriet.
I have to get up early tomorrow morning, so I'm going to bed now.
Harriet! It's precisely this bratty, rebellious attitude of yours that made me oppose you marrying my son in the first place. I always told Curtis that he made an unbelievable mistake in marrying you instead of Charity. They've known each other since they were kids. They understand each other. They grew up in the same town, share the same culture. They're the perfect match. What was that imbecile thinking, choosing you over her? My only wish is that there was some way for me to get him to divorce you. How I'd love to be able to look Charity in the face and call her my daughter-in-law.
Mr. Wainwright, are you there? It's an emergency.
Oh, if it isn't my darling little Charity. Are you trying to get in touch with Curtis? At this time of day, I'm pretty sure he's at work. Can I give him a message for you?
No, this is about Curtis. He's been taken to the hospital.
What? What in the world happened to him? The hospital?
Curtis and I were going to meet up for lunch today. I was at the cafe waiting for them to arrive, and I saw Curtis across the street coming toward me, right? When all of a sudden a car drove straight through a red light and ran right into Curtis.
Oh no, that's terrible.
It looks like more than one person was injured in the crash because 2 ambulances arrived on the scene a short while later. I was on the scene, so I volunteered to go to the hospital together in the ambulance Curtis was loaded into.
What hospital were you taken to, Charity?
It's Western General Hospital, the one on North Franklin Drive. Please, Mr. Wainwright, hurry over here as fast as you can.
Got it! I'll tell my wife we'll be there soon. Harriet, what do you think you're doing? Exactly when are you planning on coming to see Curtis at the hospital? In all the time he's been here, you haven't come by to see him one single solitary time. Have you no shame? Don't you feel any responsibility to be here with him? Let me state this as simply as possible. Your husband is in the hospital, Harriet, and you, his wife, have not come by to see him a single time. Are you insane? Not only haven't you come by, you haven't even tried to contact him. He could have died for all you know. Oh, but not to worry. While you've been shirking your responsibilities as the wife of my son, Charity, a superior woman to you in every way imaginable, has been coming down here almost every day to visit him and check up on his condition. Every day that goes by, you make me more and more convinced that I'm right. Charity would make a far better wife for Curtis than you ever could. Hello there, Charity. I'm terribly sorry to have shouldered you with the burden of looking after Curtis for us. The restaurant we run is very small. There's only my wife, myself, and a few part-time staffers. If we're not there to handle things, then we'd have to shut it down, and we obviously can't do that. If our restaurant were a bit closer, then we'd at least be able to stop by from time to time, but unfortunately we're on the opposite side of town.
It's fine, Mr. Wainwright. Don't worry about it. After all, I'd do anything to be able to spend more time with Curtis. This is like a dream come true.
I'm glad to hear that. You know, Charity, you really are one fine young woman. Generous, caring, self-sacrificing. Nothing at all like that heartless, soulless, worthless Harriet.
Speaking of Harriet, do you know what's going on with her? As far as I can tell, she hasn't even come by the hospital once to see him.
I thought that was the case. I can't even get in touch with her. She won't answer texts or calls. Her parents have already passed away, and I don't know the contact information of any of her other family members, so the only thing I can do is wait for her to respond. There's no other way for us to figure out exactly what the hell she's doing. But since she's his wife, I assume she's his emergency contact, so there's no way she doesn't know about his accident. Seriously, what is wrong with that girl?
You know what I think? I think she's using this as an opportunity to do what she's always wanted to do, but couldn't because Curtis was around. You know what I mean?
What?
Curtis is so ridiculously trusting of her. No matter how many times I try to tell him about her, he's just like, no way, Harriet's not like that. She would never do that to me. It's pathetic. I mean, think about it. Not only has Harriet not been over here, but she hasn't even gone back to their house yet all this time.
Wait, really? You're sure? Wow, I should have expected that was the case, but to hear that it's actually true is too sad to bear.
Don't you think it's time we made our move and got them to divorce? I mean, it pains me so much to see Curtis pining after such an unfaithful wife.
Yes, Charity, you're exactly right. The time has come. It's time that my son got the wife he deserves. You! Hello, Harriet. I'm writing to let you know that I've talked it over with my wife, and we've decided that you do not deserve to be married to our son. Not only have you not come to the hospital for the entire time he's been hospitalized, you're off doing who knows what in who knows where, and haven't even been back to your house. Furthermore, you have yet to respond to or even read a single one of my messages. As such, we have determined that the only way forward is for you to leave. You're going to divorce my son as soon as possible.
Hello to you too, Dad. I'm sorry it's taken me so long to get back to you.
There you are. I suppose once I brought the D word into the picture, you realized I meant business. But you're too late, Harriet. There's no changing my mind now. My decision is final.
Let's back up a bit, shall we? First order of business. I've been staying in the exact same hospital as Curtis this entire time.
What? Wait just one moment. What do you mean you've been staying at the hospital? As in you've been renting a room nearby?
No, I mean I've been hospitalized. I was the other person injured in the crash involving Curtis. And the driver who ran a stoplight?
You were?
It looks like you're under a massive misunderstanding, so allow me to explain things from the beginning in the simplest terms possible. First, I was in the intensive care unit for the first few days of my time in the hospital. I've been cleared to leave the ICU and am now in a regular room, so I was finally able to get my phone repaired recently, which was heavily damaged in the crash. It just came back to me yesterday, but I suffered some serious injuries to my hands, so I haven't been able to type by myself. The messages that are being sent to you right now are being written by a friend of mine who came to see me today, as that's the only way I would be able to reply to you.
But that doesn't make any sense. If you've been here this whole time, why hasn't Curtis said anything about it? He's had ample opportunity.
Yes, well, there's a very, very good reason for that. Charity, who's been clinging on to Curtis like a fly in molasses since the time we were dating and sees me as her mortal enemy, has been in the room with him every day and practically never leaves his side.
What? Charity?
It also seems as though she's invited herself to stay at our home while she's here. If she knew that I was here at the same hospital, there is no telling what she might try to do to me in my current state. So he thought it would be best for me to just keep quiet about it. I asked the doctors to transfer me to a different hospital to avoid this problem, but they said there was no way they would be able to safely transfer me in my condition. So we went with Plan B. I asked the doctors to instead transfer me to a private room within the hospital and leave a standing order to refuse visitors without express permission from me.
That's...
By the way, the only reason I'm able to reveal this all to you right now is because Charity's parents have also arrived and they're keeping tabs on her for me.
What? Her parents?
I understand that Charity, when Charity told you about the accident, she told you that another driver ran a red light and struck Curtis as he was walking, is that right? But that's not what really happened. No, the truth is that while Curtis was waiting for the pedestrian stoplight to turn green, he was pushed from behind into the road, and that's when he was hit by that car. So the car wasn't at fault at all, it was the person who pushed him.
What? You mean someone was essentially trying to murder Curtis? Who was it? Who's responsible for this? I'll see to it personally that they're brought to justice.
It was Charity.
Charity?
In her defense, it seems that she was just so happy to see Curtis that she started sprinting towards him, and when she wasn't able to hit the brakes, she rammed right into him. Charity's on the small side, but an adult running at that rate of speed was enough to push Curtis off balance, so he fell face first into the road.
That's unbelievable!
There's more. I was actually with Curtis at the time of the accident.
Oh?
And because we were holding hands when Charity pushed him, I got pulled into the road right alongside him. I don't think what happens next needs any explanation, so I'll just skip that part.
Yes, I think I get the picture.
As for what happens next, I'll have to talk with Curtis about the details, but we're planning to file a police report.
A police report? You mean you're pressing charges?
We've been contacted by multiple witnesses who were there the day of the accident, so there's really no escaping this for Charity. She's the one responsible for what happened to us.
I see.
That's all the time I have to speak to you today.
What? What's going on?
Nothing, it's just that the friend who's typing these messages for me has to go to work tomorrow morning, so she's going home now. My intention was only to clear up any misconceptions you may have had about what really happened. We can discuss the more minor details at a later time, so we'll have to continue this conversation another day. Good night.
Charity. I just spoke to Harriet. She told me about what really happened. If your parents are taking charge of you, I suppose you won't be able to respond to any of my messages. I can't believe it. It wasn't a car running a red light. You just rammed into Curtis so hard that he fell right into the road. I had such a hard time believing it that I talked to your parents directly, and they confirmed that everything Harriet said was true. And to think I was trying to get Curtis to marry you. I had no idea you were such a psychopath. Oh, my dear God in heaven, this is absolutely terrible. Harriet, what's the meaning of this? Curtis said he's going to legally change his last name to yours? He even sent us a letter declaring that he no longer wants to have anything to do with us. He's disowning us as his parents. Please, Harriet, I'm begging you, you've got to talk to him. Do something about this. Talk some sense into him. Please, Harriet, Curtis is my only son. I was planning on having him take over the family business, but now he's disowning me? What am I going to do? Look, I'll accept your marriage to my son. I'll accept you as my daughter-in-law. I'll accept you as part of the family. I'll even allow you to keep working, and you can go out of town on business as much as you'd like. Oh, and I'll also compromise and have you and Curtis do an 80-20 split on the housework. So please, you need to convince Curtis not to disown us and get him to reconsider changing his last name. He can't just get rid of his last name. That's my family name. When she read the letter, my wife was so shocked that she fell down and threw out her back. Harriet, answer me, please. I'm begging you. Give my son back to me, Harriet.
Soon after Charity's parents took custody of her, the friend who had been coming to the hospital to check on me stopped by our house to see what state she had left it in. I was not entirely surprised to hear that every single thing that had anything to do with me had been damaged or destroyed entirely. There was more than enough for my friend to realize that we would no longer be safe in our own home, cleaned up the mess, and removed all of our valuables to a safe location. Additionally, she's also arranging for an apartment to live in temporarily until we can find a new house. Now, since Charity obviously has no money of her own, her parents ended up footing the bill for all the money she owed us to repair the damage she caused, as well as moving expenses. As I told my father-in-law, we also submitted a police report and are pressing charges against her for breaking and entering, property damage, assault, and a litany of other crimes. We won't be settling out of court with her under any circumstances. We're seeing to it that she's put away for a very, very long time. A few months after that, Curtis and I were finally released from the hospital. The same friend who helped us find a new apartment also assisted us in restarting our lives in a new location, including helping us secure jobs similar to what we were doing before at her company. Faced with the unmoving determination of his son to abandon the family business, his father made the heartbreaking decision to simply close down the restaurant that he had worked all his life to build into a successful venture. As for us, however, we finally found peace in our new lives away from all the deeply troubled people in our past.
William, we have a huge problem right now. I need you to answer me.
Huh? What do you want from me, Catherine? I'm about to become rich really soon here. So leave me alone and get back to doing whatever the heck it is you do with your life now.
This is not the time for you to be at the casino, William. Something very serious has happened.
Jeez, you're at it again trying to act like my mother. You were my dad's second choice, you know that?
And your dad just got into a serious car accident and had to be taken away in an ambulance because his injuries were that serious.
Huh?
I just got a call saying he's on his way to a hospital, so you need to hurry up and get over there as well.
Sure, I guess.
Excuse me, William. Are you back out gambling at that casino again?
I sure am, and?
Today is your dad's memorial, and tomorrow he's going to be buried at the cemetery. You should already be aware of that, right?
I know already. Geez, I plan to be there at 6 p.m. when the memorial begins.
But I want you here right now so that you can help me with some of the preparations.
I'm sure you do. This is your last chance to do anything wife-like for my dad, and after this we won't need you anymore. I'll make sure to do away with you and finally have the peace and quiet I've been wishing for.
You're in the same shoes as me, though. This is your last chance to be like a son to your dad. So don't you want to be here right now to make some of your last memories you'll ever have with him?
Honestly, second wives like you are also freaking unbearable. Ooh, I just hit a jackpot.
William!
I want to talk about my inheritance.
What?
I want to talk about the inheritance I'm getting from my dad. You're going to help me get every penny that man left behind for me, right?
Listen here, William. That is not the kind of thing you should be asking about right now when his funeral only just happened today.
But considering the fact that you're my dad's second wife, I'm sure you're going to try and lay your hands on all of his money, and I have to make sure something like that never happens.
Jesus Christ, you child. I plan to talk with the lawyer in a couple of weeks about the money and assets your dad has left behind in his death.
Huh? You telling me a lawyer is going to be around to deal with what he left behind?
Just in case we need any help. Your dad didn't leave behind a very large will or anything, but it would be nice to have some legal help in this, since I'm his second wife and we also have you to consider when it comes to what goes to who. Now, would you just forget about his money for the time being and focus on respecting your dad for the man he was?
What a pain in the ass.
Another thing. All of your dad's family is going to be coming over to the house right now to stay for a bit, since a lot of them came all the way out here from different parts of the U.S.
What? Why?
Because you haven't bothered to do anything in order to help out with getting all your dad's things in order, so I'm having them stay at the house in order to help me instead.
Catherine? It's been a couple of weeks now, so can we talk about the money yet?
So this is about the inheritance your dad has left behind?
Well, what else would I be talking about? I've become tired of waiting for some lawyer to get all that work done that you got them involved for, so I'm going to give you a piece of my mind and put an end to all of this waiting around.
I guess I'll have to ask. What exactly do you have to say?
You, being my dad's second wife, makes you a stranger. And as a stranger, I don't want anything to do with you. So that means I'm cutting ties to you now, which now means all of that money and crap that my dad's left behind will become mine now.
What? Do you have any idea what it means to be a legal inheritor of someone's things?
You're talking about someone who's legally obligated to someone else's things after they've died, right? Yeah, I already looked into all of that.
I see. Then, when it comes to what you've just told me, even though you are aware of the fact that I'm the legal inheritor of your dad's things, having been his wife, you're going to tell me to leave it all so that you can have it?
That's what I'm saying. I'm sure that you only married my dad to get all of his money in the first place, right? But had you not gotten in the way and married my dad after he got rid of his first wife, all of that money would be coming to me. In other words, all of that money and crap that he had was mine, and that means I'm legally allowed to get it from you.
I guess I can explain all of this to you instead of letting the lawyer do it.
What are you talking about? I'm not going to listen to any more of your excuses.
I'm sure you're not going to, and I understand that. Then please allow me to say this one last thing to you before I go. Did you know that when I got married to your dad, he and I got ourselves a lawyer who made it so that I would not be given access to any of his money and assets after he passed?
Wait, are you serious?
I know that neither of us had said anything to you about it this whole time. But I happen to have a company of my own right now, so I have no need for any of your dad's things.
Well, what the heck? Then there was no reason for you to get a dang lawyer involved, now was there? It's already been decided that everything will be going to me, so all I have to do is go and get what's mine.
But William, do you Do you not know anything about this yet?
About what?
Your dad and his previous wife had a daughter together before they separated.
What?
She had her just before you, which means that she's around the same age. 28 years old now, if I'm remembering your age correctly. He and his daughter kind of stopped talking to one another long ago because of reasons, but that didn't stop her from being his daughter, and that did not erase her from the will he wrote regarding what he left behind.
Huh?
By the way, during the funeral, she was there, and she even went up to say one last goodbye to your dad while he was in the casket. I'm sure she was even sitting with all your dad's family there.
Hold on a sec. You're telling me that my dad and my mom both had another girl before she left, and that's who that girl is?
That's right. However, your mom took custody of her in the divorce and left you to your dad, and that's why you never really heard anything about her. And I think that was what both your mom and dad wanted to happen. Now, the reason why I asked you to get a lawyer involved in all of this lies with what I just told you. I was worried that she would be coming back to look for her money from her dad, and that would lead to some confrontations with you, and so I wanted a professional around to help straighten things up. The thing is, though, I didn't think the only person who would be causing so much trouble would be the young man I'm talking to right now. That lawyer will want to talk to you in 3 days, so when he's around, please listen to everything he has to say about what's been left behind and what is yours.
I am not going to let this happen. Why am I not allowed to get any of my dad's money? I'm my freaking dad's son, am I not? At the very least, shouldn't I be splitting whatever my dad left behind with that daughter he had with my mom? My sister, I guess? Why the hell is it only her getting all of my dad's things now?
And perhaps that has to do with the fact that she actually cared about her dad and became an outstanding daughter for him?
Huh? I'm the outstanding child.
I'm sure you're not fully understanding everything from the past, but the woman your dad had his daughter with was not your mom, but another woman he married before your mom. But she left him right as she had his daughter, and not too long after he married your mom. But you were already born by the time he married her, so you were just her son that she brought along into his life. I know this will come as a shocker to you in some ways, but you're not your dad's real child. You should kind of already be aware of that, though, right? Your mom wasn't even your dad's first choice, and he got married to her while she dragged you into his life because he needed someone to comfort him. Then, after a while had passed and you had turned 20, your mom left this world and both your dad and you, right? Your dad was again single, and the loneliness made him turn to me a few years after her death. And that's why I've been his wife and your mom for the past 5 years. That's the whole story I had been told by the lawyer. Does all of that sound correct to you?
That's all spot on, but I know all of that. But I know that my dad chose to marry my mom after his first wife left him. Which means he should be totally fine with me getting all of his inheritance as his son, right?
What?
What?
William, your dad never legally adopted you as his own son, right?
What? I guess not. I remember hearing things about how he never wanted to have custody of me as his child and wanted my mom to always care for me. Something like that. But what does that have to do with anything? As far as I'm aware, it means nothing now.
Do you think that just because your mom married him, you would be getting all of your dad's inheritance after he passed away?
Huh?
This is something else that the lawyer explained to me. When you went and first talked with him about the inheritance and who would be getting it, you were so shocked by what he said that you didn't even bother to listen to the second half of the explanation. Is that true?
I guess he's right. After he told me I wasn't getting a penny, I don't remember anything. It's all just really vague now.
To put all of what the lawyer said into simple terms, because your dad did not legally adopt you as his son, that means you don't get access to any of his money.
Are you freaking kidding me?
So give up on it now. I'm sure you don't want to accept any of this, but you can't continue acting like a spoiled child at your age.
But if I don't get that money, I'll be screwed.
And how would you be screwed if you didn't get his money?
I'm in debt.
Really?
Thinking that I'd be getting all of my dad's money, I started to have a field day at the casino, betting on all kinds of games and playing all kinds of machines. I borrowed a lot of money to do so, but everything I bet on and all the machines that I played, I lost. I have to do something about all of this debt before the end of the month, or else I'm gonna be royally screwed.
Seriously?
The end of the month is really soon.
What the hell have you done, William?
But come on!
I'm going to find myself a temporary place until I can calm down, and I'm having all of my things moved into there.
What?
I'm afraid you will try and take my money soon in order to pay off your debts, so I need to get away from you.
Wait a second. What about the house and food?
Not my problem anymore.
Listen here, Catherine. After taking some time to think this all through, things are a lot more simple than I had first thought. All I have to do now is have you adopt me as your child and be taken care of by you.
What the hell?
Catherine, you run your own company now, right? In other words, that means you have plenty of money just sitting around waiting to be used. Also, you don't happen to have any children yet, right? So that means as long as I become your adopted son, I can get access to your inheritance when you're gone, which would mean I can pay off all this debt.
Hey, William, you do understand that I'm only in my early 40s right now, right?
What? I know that, sure.
And you do understand how to get access to someone's inheritance, right? So far, I haven't had any issues with any sort of illness that would reduce my time on this earth any, so you'll be waiting quite a while for any money to be coming from me. The thing is, though, I'm not willing to give you any of my things anyway after I die. Are you really that desperate now that you're trying to act like I'm going to die soon and that you can get my money?
Huh? No, wait, that's not what I meant by that.
Well, whatever you say about those comments, I've already gone and made up my mind on who gets my money. And that is going to be my niece, who will not only be getting all my money when I pass away, but also my company and all of its assets. So no matter what you try and do from here on out, you're not going to get your hands on any of my stuff.
No way. Catherine, I just got an idea.
And what could it be this time?
That niece of yours that you were talking about yesterday. Introduce her to me.
Huh?
I'm gonna get married to your niece now. Making her my wife would mean that she'd have to help me pay off my debt. And as for this first part of the debt that has to be paid off here soon, I'll just use her savings in order to do so. Oh, thank God. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to come up with a solid plan in time. With this, I'll finally be able to get past this bump in the road and be safe. And on top of that, I'll be able to become the husband of a future company owner. I'll be frickin' rich. My life is gonna be so easy. I've finally done it.
My niece is married, William.
What?
And she already had 2 kids with her husband.
She seriously has kids as well?
William, would you cut that crap out right now and pull your own pants up for once?
What?
Every single day, day after day, all you ever do is gamble. Slot machines, roulette tables, poker games, horse racing. Us normal people call adults like you gambling addicts. I'm sure you made it this far with that addiction of yours by having all your dad's money at your disposal, but you cannot do that anymore and have to start taking responsibility for yourself. Get a dang job now, please. And if you're wanting to say that you don't want to work or that you don't like working, then prepare yourself for a life of even greater struggles.
You're asking me to work now?
I'm sure no self-respecting company would want to hire you, but I can introduce you to some good manual labor jobs that wouldn't mind the extra meat.
What?
Actually, I don't need an answer from you because I'm going to make you work for them. That house you're in now that you've lived in with your dad and I will be gone at the end of the month.
What? You're getting rid of it?
I'm sure you were aware of this, but your dad was renting that large house this whole time. I could take the place for myself and start paying rent on it for you and I, but I don't find living with you a very good joke anymore, and that's why I'm gone. I've actually taken additional steps in order to stay away from you by changing my last name back to that of my parents' last name, and we'll be heading home to them soon. Since I'm no longer in that house anymore, there's no way for you to pay the rent, right? Which is why that place will be gone at the end of this month.
Are you kidding me? Catherine, this place that you introduced me to work at, I didn't think you'd be putting me into a freaking internment camp. This all-black van just pulled up to the house and 4 men have all just jumped out of it.
Ah, so you know about where they'll be taking you then?
One of my friends was taken away by guys like those 10 years ago, and ever since that happened, I never heard from him again.
I've heard that after having one's life turned around and made into a dependable adult, they no longer want to get in touch with the bad influences they'd hung out with before. So I'm sure that your friend from 10 years ago is now working a proper job and making a decent living that he doesn't want you ruining.
For crying out loud, Catherine!
You'll be fine. They're not going to take you to some internment camp where you'll have to live the rest of your life working for them until you die. I just happen to know a company that does really well with hiring undisciplined men like you and turning them into decent members of this society through long days of hard manual labor at a stone quarry.
How the hell is 4 men hopping out of a blacked-out van not something that's gonna kill me? Catherine! Hey, I'm in seriously bad trouble now here. I didn't think that having to work all the way out in the middle of nowhere could be this bad, but it is. I've already tried calling you 100 times now. Come on! Help me, please! Ah!
On the day that the all-blacked-out van pulled up to get William, he was only just getting out of bed, and so when he noticed the van and made a run for it, he only had his boxers on. The only issue for him was he weighed close to 300 pounds due to never being active and always eating junk food, so he only made it close to 30 feet from the house before collapsing. And as he flipped over to see who was coming, the largest of the 4 men, who was muscle from head to toe, lifted him off the ground and threw him into the back of their van, all while William screamed like a little girl. He was forced to start working in the quarry the moment he was dropped off there, but they forgot to take away his phone, and that's what led to him spam calling me all night long. And during the following day, when he was still trying to get in touch with me, his boss saw the phone and became furious with rage. As a sort of a side note to all of this, William got himself into $35,000 worth of debt from gambling. I suppose as long as William is able to continue working for that quarry without dying of a heart attack or stroke, he'll be able to pay everything off. As for myself, I've begun to calm down little by little, but with the thoughts of my late husband still running through my mind, I've felt lonely. But it's only been a few weeks now since his death, so give it a few more days, and I'm sure I'll be ready to get back to my life as a CEO, living it for the both of us. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Oh my god, Martin, do my eyes deceive me? Or did I just walk by you a second ago? I thought I had a stalker on my hands.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was you that I saw.
Wait, you're not really stalking me, are you?
But considering that 7 whole years have passed since you broke up with me in one of the worst ways imaginable, no, Una. I would sooner go out of my way to avoid you rather than follow you around.
Okay, so then tell me what you're doing in the same luxury hotel that I'm staying in. This is the last place I ever thought I'd bump into my broke loser ex-boyfriend. I bet this place costs more a night than you make in a year. Is that what you did? Did you save up all your money for the last 7 years just to blow it all on a 1 in a million chance to run into me here? I wouldn't put that past you. Poor people have done dumber things with their money.
I see you're still under the impression I'm a broke loser.
Yeah, well, I mean, you are a broke loser, so...
Listen, Una, I told you all this at the time, but let's refresh your memory. The reason I quit my job at the company I'd been with since graduating is because I wanted to get my own company up and running.
Yeah, I totally remember that. What's your point? Let me guess, you thought you were finally ready to make the big launch, but then realized you were way in over your head and fell further and further into soul-crushing debt. Am I right? Don't tell me you already declared bankruptcy. I tried searching online for your company's name a while back, and you know what came up? 0 hits. And that's what you are, a zero, a broke loser, like I said.
I'm not really sure what you're talking about. My company is the top result when you search for the name.
Oh, right. Sure. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I definitely did search for your stupid company's name, and it definitely returned 0 results. So, unfortunately, I see through your pathetic lie.
And like I said, every single search engine I know of returns my company's homepage as the top result when you search for the name. What site are you using anyway? You sure you're spelling it right?
But enough about you. Let's talk about me. Guess what? Last month, I got married to a super rich, high-powered businessman. We're gonna have a ceremony in my husband's hometown, and we came out here to do some planning with his parents. And we thought that since we were coming all the way out here, we might as well stay at the biggest, most luxurious, most expensive hotel in the city. It feels so great to be treated like the princess I am. He's totally different from a certain broke loser ex-boyfriend of mine. I won't name names, though.
What a day. I get called out here by a client for a meeting, and no sooner do I get to the hotel than I run into my legendarily narcissistic, veritable comic book villain of an ex-girlfriend in the lobby. I just can't catch a break.
I knew it. You're not staying on your own dime. You could never afford a place like this.
The CEO of a firm that's one of my biggest clients invited me to come out here for a private gathering. We work together a lot, so we've kind of developed a relationship in our off time as well.
A CEO, you say? Sure. I bet it's some failure running a bankrupt company that's just trying to save face by putting you up in a sweet hotel. Careful about ordering too much room service. You might just spend the company's last dime. Losers always stick together, don't they?
And here we go again.
What's the matter? Did I strike a nerve?
Everything I say, no matter what I say, you always find some way to twist it into an insult. Well, I'll give you credit for creativity, though. But just like 7 years ago, your insults are so hilariously far off the mark that I can't even bring myself to get angry at you. It's just kind of boring and sad.
I don't want to hear anything about boring or sad from the likes of you.
In any case, you're a married woman now. If you get caught talking with your ex-boyfriend, your husband might think something untoward about you. Or worse, about me.
Oh, there it is. That's what you were going for. You're hoping my husband comes by and sees us together. You're going for the cross-court three-pointer, huh? Make my husband jealous and angry at me, get us to break up, and then you swoop in like a knight in shining armor to pick me up from my sadness. God, you're lame.
Boy, you wasted no time in proving me right. Once again. 10 out of 10 for creativity. Bravo.
Using sarcasm to hide your depression? Lame!
For the record, I have a girlfriend, and I'm thinking about proposing to her soon.
What?
I don't know what your schedule looks like from here on out, but in the event that you're going to be staying here for a while longer, Do me a favor, and if we ever happen to cross paths again, let's just pretend we've never met before. I mean, God, I wish I'd never met you.
You're not fooling anyone, loser. You know you still want me.
I'd rather get, I don't know, AIDS, cancer, and Ebola at the same time than get back together with you.
Again, not fooling anyone.
Enjoy your delusions, Una. I hope you have a nice stay here. Bye. Hey there, Martin. You alright? Huh? Oh, Isaac, it's you. What's up? Nothing serious. There's just something odd that happened downstairs a minute ago. I'd gone down to the lobby to take care of some business, and I'd stopped by the executive lounge to grab a drink before heading back to my room. And while I was there was this woman talking in a bizarrely loud voice, the guy who looked like he was probably her husband. She said she ran into a boyfriend from 7 years ago in the lobby, and when she started talking about where she first met that guy and everything, well, I was pretty sure that she was talking about you. Uh-oh. I thought, I don't know, maybe something bad had gone down with you, so I thought I'd text you, make sure you're okay. Let me guess, did this woman use the phrase broke loser a lot? Yeah, like every other sentence. It was kind of weird. I mean, all the other stuff like the university and time frame fits you to a T, but you're not a loser, and you're definitely not broke. That woman has an ability to get lost in her delusions like no one else I've ever met. In fact, the reason we broke up 7 years ago was precisely that. She couldn't get over her own delusions. She even just texted me, just now, to take the opportunity to call me a broke loser 4 times in as many minutes. Wait, you mean your old girlfriend still has your phone number? You didn't block her number? Well, we got a lot of common friends, so it's actually pretty hard for me to completely get rid of her. As for not blocking her, I don't know. I just felt like it would be safer for me to be able to keep tabs on what she's up to. Wow, well that's fantastically bad luck for you, man. And there's one more thing I wanted to ask. This ex-girlfriend of yours, do you know who her husband is? No, I don't. As a matter of fact, the first time I heard she was married, when she texted me to lord the fact over me just now, she said that she married a super rich, high-powered businessman, so I figured he must be some kind of big shot. Huh. Okay. Why'd you ask? You got a good look at his face. Anyone you know? Yeah, actually. It's probably been about 3 years or so since I've seen him, but I've definitely met him before. It's just, well, she said he was a high-powered businessman. Yeah. Gosh, shoot, I just saw the time. Look, we're about to be late for the reservation at the hotel diner. Oh, no, we better get going then. We'll continue this conversation over dinner, okay? Sure, sounds fine. I'm on my way.
Hey there, Martin. What you up to right now?
I'm up to anything that prevents me from speaking to you right now.
Let me guess, you don't have enough money to pay for your room, so you're working it off in the kitchen? That's what you get for quitting a stable, high-paying job to start some stupid company on your own. I'd say you're making no more than $20,000 a year right now. Am I right? Who am I kidding? Of course I'm right. What kind of loser makes just 20 grand a year? That's not even poverty wages. That's like third world peasant wages.
For the love of God, Una, could you possibly go one day without dragging me into some psychotic fantasy you have?
Maybe I can get my husband to give you a job cleaning toilets at his office.
Well, speaking of your husband, the CEO I told you about who invited me out here is named Isaac Treywell. You ever heard of him? He tells me he is actually familiar with your husband.
Really? Is he the CEO of the company that cleans my husband's office? I'm gonna have to get my husband to change custodian companies. What kind of third-rate businessman doesn't come up and say hello to the people who pay his salary?
No, that's not how they know each other. Actually, back before your husband went independent, He used to work at Isaac's company.
What? Wait a minute, my husband's old company? But that company was one of the biggest in town. Not just in town, in the whole state. You know the CEO of that company?
I told you he was a client. I also heard that your husband is moving back to his old town.
Well, that's news to me.
Yeah? Well, Isaac seemed to know about it. It's a pretty small industry. It wouldn't take much time for news like that to make it from one CEO to another.
But that's impossible. My husband's company headquarters is downtown.
Well, yeah, for now. But the word on the street is that he's closing that business down and going back to the city he was born in.
What?
Your husband's town is about 20 minutes from here by car, right?
I don't get it. What are you trying to say?
Wait, you really don't get it? Oh boy. Don't tell me he actually hasn't told you anything yet.
Well, now that I think about it, he said something about buying a house out in the country and something about moving. I just thought he was going to get us a vacation house out on the lake or something where we could spend weekends and holidays. But we're going to be living there permanently?
Oh, so it sounds like he has told you about what his plans are. Oh, looks like that delusional Ben of yours has come back around to bite you this time. You were so caught up in your fantasy life that you'd closed your eyes to reality.
No, that can't be. But I wanted to be married to a high-powered businessman. What's going to happen to me now?
I'd say you should probably talk to your husband about that. I'm just telling you the information that I got third hand from someone who heard it through the grapevine.
No, I thought I had finally made it. I thought I was set for life. Okay, that's it. I'm divorced now. So we can get married anytime, Martin.
Huh?
After we ran into each other at the hotel, I did a little more digging into you. Turns out you were right. I wasn't spelling your company's name right. Don't know how I managed to get it that wrong, but whatever. That explains why I wasn't getting any hits when I searched for it online. Anyway, when I typed it in correctly, I couldn't believe it. Your company is the biggest in your industry. That's incredible. You're something else. I am so flattered that you would work so hard just to impress me.
Huh?
The problem is that I can't seem to find your current address. I've got the marriage certificate application all filled out except for that. So you can sign it after you give me a shipping address where I can send all my stuff to.
Marriage certificate. Shipping address.
That's right. As of today, we're moving in together. So what's your address?
Una, I told you this back at the hotel. I'm seeing someone. We're pretty serious.
What?
We've been living together for 6 months now. In other words, I don't want you coming anywhere near my house.
Oh, but come on now. You know that I'm way more of a woman than her, whoever she is.
Well, for one, she doesn't fly off into bizarre delusions on a daily basis. And that alone puts her well ahead of you.
Martin, you can't trust her. I know her type. All she's after is your wealth and status. She just wants to be married to a super rich, high-powered businessman.
Boy, that phrase sounds really familiar.
Right? She's a total psychopath, I can tell.
Oh yeah? Well, she makes more money than me, though.
She does?
Remember the CEO I told you about before? Isaac? She's his younger sister.
No way.
Not only does she have a seat on the board at Isaac's company, but she's also a real estate investor on the side. Well, compared to her, I'm basically like the nighttime janitor at a convenience store.
Wait, seriously?
To be perfectly honest with you, I would never, ever be interested in a woman like you, whose only goal in life is to be the bimbo trophy wife of any rich businessman who will take him. No, for me, I prefer a working woman who is intelligent, witty, hardworking, and independent, like, my girlfriend. I could never share the rest of my life with anyone but her. She has everything I want. I love her, but more importantly, I respect her, and not just as my girlfriend or as a woman, but as a fellow businessman.
Okay, well, in that case, do you think you could introduce me to your friend, Isaac?
That's a joke, right?
Nope. From what you're saying, it sounds like he's a pretty stand-up guy. He's totally my type. So can you give me his number?
Isaac is married.
Oh no, really?
Yeah, and I've never met anyone who is more devoted to his wife than he is. He also has 2 kids, one in middle school and the other in elementary school. Sorry to say, but you're not going to have any luck with him.
Damn it. Isn't there anyone else you can introduce me to? You have to know a bunch of CEOs. One of them has to be single, or at least open-minded.
Not a chance.
Please.
No. Well, okay. That does it. That's all I can take from you. I'm never speaking to you again. Goodbye.
Martin, don't go. Martin, answer the phone, please.
I heard about what happened next from one of our mutual friends. Apparently, Una was so certain that she and I were going to get married that she told her husband that she would pay him off to let her go without a fight. She wasn't too concerned about the money since, again, she was positive that I was going to foot the bill for her. So, without so much as talking to a lawyer, she offered an incredible amount of $50,000 as a parting gift, and even signed a contract binding her to fork out the money. Now, a contract like that is most likely unenforceable in court, and there are probably 1,000,001 ways to get out of it, but I think I'll keep that information to myself. The whole incident really got me thinking. Maybe these delusions of hers are getting out of control. Or maybe she needs some special help to deal with them. Well, her family apparently got the same idea. They immediately had her committed and placed under a conservatorship to prevent her from destroying her life or anyone else's more than she already has. And with that, I felt like it was finally time to block her phone number and erase her from my contacts. Peace at last.
Unbelievable, Waylon. This is my first Christmas ever with you where you have not given me any kind of a good surprise. If that's how things are going to be with you from now on, then I can't stay married to you anymore.
Aurora? What's going on here? You're talking about wanting a surprise for Christmas? Well, I'm still at work right now, so...
I don't want to hear any of your excuses for it. Did you really think that something like this would make me happy? Or did you think that since this is Christmas, you not giving me anything at all as a surprise would be forgiven by me? Absolutely not, Waylon. This right here shows me that you have scammed me in this marriage.
How does that mean I scammed you? I'm sorry, but I haven't even had a chance to do anything for you yet, so how could you already be saying I've scammed you?
Don't even try to act dumb with me. I have all the evidence I need now, so there's no escaping this.
Evidence of what? How could you even have evidence?
You're the one that thought that surprising me by saying you were coming out would be a good thing, and set it all up with all sorts of evidence just laying around. So why are you asking me about it now?
I have literally no idea what you're going on about right now, Aurora. What do you mean I surprised you by coming out, huh?
Did you really think something as bad as that wasn't going to make me upset? All I wanted was a surprise from you with a gift I'd always been wanting, but this?
And I'm saying that I haven't even been home to do anything yet.
Until you come to me and apologize for what you've done today, I'm going back to my parents' house.
Huh?
And until you're here at my feet begging for my forgiveness, I won't be responding to you. Bye-bye. Matt, I have wonderful news for you.
You again, Aurora? What do you have to tell me? I thought you were going to be spending the holidays over at your house with your husband, right?
Yes, and that was what I was supposed to be doing. But he came out of the closet with something crazy.
What? What all happened there?
I have something I need to show you right now, so I'm going to make my way over to your place, all right?
What? You want to come over here right now?
Your wife left the house 2 days ago and will be gone for some time, right? Even though it's Christmas and the time of year when she should be at home with you.
That's true. She told me her mother had a bad fall and ended up breaking her pelvis. So, for the next 1 to 2 months, she's going back to be with them in order to take care of her mother. Well, that's the excuse she gave to me anyway, but I know that she's really heading out to see another man and stay with him for a while at a hotel.
Well, that's lucky for you and I then. Now we have plenty of time to show just how much we love one another, and we can do it with freedom inside your place.
Absolutely right.
So, would it be all right if I came over to your house right now?
Of course, get your cute little behind over here.
I'm going to be bringing over some dinner for us to have, and then after that, you need to show me who's boss.
I hope it's gonna be pizza, because eating one of those will give me enough energy to last all night. Hey, Aurora? You told me yesterday that you'd be going home to your parents' house, but I just got off the phone with your mom, and she told me you didn't go home at all last night, and she hasn't seen you at all. I'm not sure where you spent the night last night, but if you were going to go somewhere else, then you need to tell me that first. I'm going to be completely honest right now by saying I'm worried about what you're doing, because none of what you've been doing and saying is making any sense. Aurora, have you made it over to your parents' house yet?
Yes, I have, Matt. And I was just about to start texting you when your message appeared on my phone. I was so happy to finally spend the end of the year with the man of my dreams, yet my husband had to get in the way of it all by asking my mom where I was. Now my mom has been asking me where I've been, and so I had no choice but to come here. I'm sorry about this, Matt. I'll just be here for a couple of days and then come up with some kind of an excuse that will allow me to come back to your place.
I see. It's gonna be lonely here, but I'll be waiting. I have to say, I'm really surprised. Who knew that your husband would end up being infertile and unable to make you pregnant with any babies?
I was shocked to hear about that as well. And the crazy thing is, he married me always saying that he wanted to have kids as soon as possible. Yet in reality, he can't even get me pregnant. Who knew there would have been something wrong with his balls?
Damn, that sounds to me like he tricked you into marrying him. I get that there are people who are unable to make babies, but the fact that he never told you anything about it until after you guys got married is a complete scam.
Right? That's what I was saying to him. How dare he come out of the closet around Christmas with the surprise of telling me he's infertile? Well, anyway, I've noticed something really awesome about all of this.
What? What have you realized?
My husband hid the fact that he's infertile from me so that I'd become his wife, right? That right there is more than enough reason for me to get a divorce from him, whether he wants one or not.
All right, okay.
And if I'm already able to get a divorce without needing his approval, do you know what else I could do?
What?
I could get a settlement as well.
Oh.
And if by some chance he was able to find out about my relationship with you, I'll tell him it was my way of getting back at him for scamming me into marrying him. I won't be able to get a settlement from him, but I'll at least be able to still get the divorce and say goodbye to him forever, right?
Understood. And now that I'm thinking about it, I know that my wife has been cheating on me as well. I think that would mean I could do the same thing as you and say that I started having a relationship with you as a way of leveling the playing field, and I could also get a divorce. And no matter what happens, we both know that we have the law on our side, right?
We sure do. I want time to fly by so that I can get back over to your place right now.
I want to see you again as soon as possible, too. Aurora, for a little bit now, I've been talking with both of your parents about you. They told me that you came back home for a little bit, but after a few days of spending time with them, you left their house again. And they told me that you told them you're at your friend's house right now. And that friend of yours, they're a man, right? Actually, the place that you've been leaving and entering a lot recently is close by to my friend's house as well. And they just so happen to know what you look like. So they were able to tell that you were up to no good and started to take lots of pictures and videos of you going in and out of that house. Sometimes alone and sometimes with that man. My friend has also told me the man is married. Is that right? My friend told me the wife had to leave for a while to go back to her parents to help her mother for a while, and you used that chance to go stay at that man's place and cheat on me with him. So that's what's been going on recently, right? I can see that you're reading these messages yet aren't answering any of them. I'm going to assume that means I hit the nail on the head this time? If you don't respond to me in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to take your cheating into my own hands and deal with you. So are you going to step up and confess, or wait things out and see what happens?
Matt, you're on your way home from work right now, correct?
Yeah, just at a stoplight waiting right now.
It seems that my husband found out about us.
Wait, are you serious? That was a lot quicker than I thought. I was hoping for at least a couple more months.
Sounds like in this neighborhood, my husband has a friend and they were able to see me. And, well, they were able to get footage of me going into and coming out of your place.
Damn, so that's how things are gonna go. Too bad. You and I both have an easy way of getting out of this mess, right?
You're dang right. I'm not worried that my husband found out about this one bit.
So, what are we gonna do first?
Let me see. My husband has given me 2 weeks to reply to him before he acts, so how about you and I just keep doing what we're doing and enjoy living with one another in your place right up to the 2-week mark?
Sounds good to me. Ah, the lights turned green. Gotta start driving. I'll be home in a few.
See you soon.
Aurora? It's been 2 weeks now, and yet you haven't responded to me with anything, have you? It's been a whole month now since you left the house, all upset with me over something I still don't quite understand yet, and I'm tired of being ignored by you. Well, it's not like it really matters anymore if you're willing to confess to me or not about cheating, because for the past 2 weeks I've continued to rely on my friend to get evidence for me. The only thing I can really do now is act.
What do you want? It's not like you're any better than me after what you did. So stop talking to me like you're some perfect partner.
Aurora, so you still seem to want to pick a fight right now.
Well, with the way you're talking to me, I have no choice but to feel attacked. You went and married me with all kinds of secrets that I finally found out about and am pissed by.
Are you going on about that surprise you said happened over Christmas? When I got home that night from work, I noticed you opened up an envelope that came from Hospital S. Was what you found in there the surprise that you were talking about?
Of course that's what I'm talking about.
So you saw the paperwork stating that there was a case of infertility.
So you're finally going to open up to me about it now, huh? Who knew that you were hiding such a dark and twisted secret from me? You told me all about how you wanted to have kids, and that's why I chose to marry you.
Well, that paperwork was all for my older brother.
Huh?
I don't want to sound like a prick asking this, but have you ever read medical documents before? At the top, there's a few boxes stating the name of the patient and when they went in to have a procedure or examination done.
What?
I mean, I guess with him being named Wayne, you may have mistook that for Waylon and thought the papers were for me.
What?
So did you read the name on those papers or not?
I guess that could have been your brother's name on there. What the hell is going on here? Why would that kind of paperwork be coming to our house and not his?
Remember how I told you that after 3 years of trying with his wife, they were never able to make any babies? Well, we all concluded that there was something wrong with either him or his wife, and so they both had testing done on them. But my brother and his wife are both living at my parents' house, right? He was worried that if the hospital sent paperwork like that back to their house, they would come across it and freak out over the news. So after talking about what to do with his wife, they decided to have the paperwork sent to our house and that they would come and pick it up later. I guess I forgot to tell you that was going to happen.
What? What the actual hell? Then that means you're...
As far as I'm aware, there's been nothing wrong with me ever since I married you.
What?
And if I remember correctly, it was always you badgering me about how you wanted to have kids right away, and I just agreed that we could try after we got settled in. I did, however, go and get myself tested, though, before our wedding, just in case there was a chance I was infertile, because I didn't want to hurt you.
Are you kidding me?
I have the paperwork saying that I'm fertile. Actually, I have a higher than average sperm count, which should mean I'm more effective. Did I never tell you anything about that? Don't tell me, Aurora. Did you seriously think that I was infertile and that I hid that fact from you in order to get you to marry me? That must be why this whole time you've been talking to me with such a terrible attitude and have acted like I'm the one to blame for everything now. And let me guess, you thought that you cheating on me would go unpunished because you felt that it would be leveling the playing field between the both of us because you thought I swindled you?
About that, Waylon.
Bullseye. Well, due to what you had done back then, I was never able to give you the surprise I had in mind for you for Christmas. However, I've changed my mind now, and the real surprise that I have for you now is divorce paperwork.
Hold on a second, Waylon.
Later on, I'll be going to see my lawyer, so please do a very good job at filling all your parts out. I would hate to have to do everything all over again and see you once more. And by the way, you're going to have to pay me a settlement now, so don't try avoiding that. Now I'm getting out of here. Goodbye forever, you bitch.
What? Hold on. What do you mean forever? Are you serious right now? No way. Matt, what am I going to do now? I made a major mistake.
What?
That paperwork that came in the mail from the hospital, it wasn't for my husband. It was for my husband's older brother, and he's the one who's infertile.
Huh? What the hell are you talking about?
Due to the fact that my husband's older brother lives with his parents, he wanted to have the paperwork sent to our house in order to hide the results from said parents. I didn't know about that and proceeded to take the envelope and open it up. I didn't take a really good look at the name up at the top and just assumed it was my husband who was infertile.
Huh?
And my husband told me he's not infertile. Actually, he has an above-average sperm count.
What did you just say? So in other words, what you're saying is that we're actually completely screwed here. And now that your husband knows you've been cheating on him, he'll be able to get settlements from the both of us?
He already knows everything.
What the actual hell were you thinking, you dumbass?
But listen, even if my husband is going to ask for some money from us, it's not like your wife can do anything since you know she's been cheating on you, right? I think as long as we play things safe, we'll only have to give up half our money.
About that actually,
What? Matt, what?
My wife leaving the house to go back to her parents' house? She wasn't lying to me about that after all.
Huh?
I believed my close friend who told me that she was cheating on me. That's why I made my move with you. But after talking with my friend a few weeks later, he told me he mistook my wife being with another man, and that the man was just her father.
What?
She was just out with her father at the time, helping him go shopping for food and some other things.
Huh? What the hell is wrong with you, man? What the hell were you doing believing such a stupid mistake? Matt, we are so frickin' screwed now that it's not even funny.
Why are you yelling at me? You're the one that messed up thinking that your husband was infertile because you couldn't read a simple name. Now we're both going to have to pay him as well. At least my wife hasn't found out about us yet, so as long as things stay that way, we won't have to pay her. But you let your husband find out about this.
But what if your wife does find out?
You at least have a job and can pay off 2 settlements, but I've been a housewife all this time. How am I supposed to pay for everything?
And you think my job can support me having to give up tens of thousands of dollars?
At least you have a job, unlike me.
Well, I don't have the money to pay for you, so stay away from me. You figure out how to pay off your settlements from them yourself. I'm not here to be your bank.
What? What the frick? You're a jackass, Matt.
You're the one that screwed the both of us here.
Ugh, what the hell are we going to do here? Seriously.
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate all of this.
Shut the hell up! A few days later, with the help of my lawyer, I was able to get settlements from the both of them. And of course, I made sure to get in touch with that guy Matt's wife, and the both of us went to them asking for settlements at the same time in order to crush them. When I first told her about what had been happening, she had no clue her husband had been cheating on her and was in complete shock and denial at first. But after showing her all the evidence that I had, there was no denying that it was her house Aurora was going into, and that was her husband with my wife. When she had finally calmed down, I allowed her to talk with my lawyer and use the evidence I had for her divorce. Some may say it was wrong of me to have waited a whole month without ever talking to my wife about any of what happened, but at the same time, it wasn't me who was ignoring the other. But thanks to that, the amount of evidence that I had really helped me win this case. And after I got all my money from both Aurora and Matt, I was able to finish the divorce. There's no need saying this, but those two ended up getting in a lot of debt in order to pay everything off. And I'm sure that's gonna hurt Aurora a whole lot more than Matt. Those two also lost a lot of their friends and family after word spread around about what had happened. And with nobody to rely on for support, they both moved into a very run-down apartment to start their new life together. Said life is filled with things like fighting and ignoring one another, but if that was really the life those two wanted to have after cheating on their significant others, then by all means I hope they're happy arguing all the time. And we should leave them to it. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.